live. Welcome. Happy 4th of July. Hope everyone's doing good. A little hot out here, so don't mind my hair and the humidity and the AC blowing in the background. But hey guys, Garrett Bryan. If you didn't know, we do a live stream every single Friday. Talk about the mechanic tips, mechanic tricks, whatever it is when it comes to just working on cars. We kind of gather here and I help you out with any questions that you guys may have. So if you're new, be sure to, or new or old, be sure to drop a question down in the chat and we'll go ahead and get started. He said, whatever. How's it going, Yak Fishing? Good to have you on the stream. I know I'm a little bit late, but... Oh, wow. I never thought I'll see you online at live. Yeah. I do a live stream every single Friday, if you didn't know. So, now you know. Very amazing and very informative, thorough videos. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Man, if you have a question, be sure to drop it down below, bro. I'll be happy to answer it. But, yeah, awesome to have you in the stream. Yak Fishing, yep, and it's always a good time. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you guys. If you guys have any questions, be sure to drop it down below. And let's go ahead and get started. Brian, how's it going, man? Awesome to see you here again, bro. 2 Brians in the room. We got me and we got you. Worst customer interaction. What does that even mean? I'm dead. But yeah, guys, if you are starting out in the stream, be sure to drop in a question. Okay, folks, hit that like button. Kids. Yeah, guys, be sure to drop the like button. Who man says, where are you providing your services? In which state? I'm in Illinois, but yeah, I don't do like mobile mechanic work or anything. I'm pretty much just in the shop right now. But yeah, guys, happy 4th of July. Really happy to see you guys here. Really cool to have you guys here. Hopefully everyone's barbecuing, having a drink, having a cold one, or whatever it may be. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was so confused by your question, E. So what's your worst customer interaction? So it was actually, I was working on this guy's car. He wanted me to do brakes, the front brakes and the rear brakes. The car's been sitting for probably like a year or two. And I go to do his work. I just start in the front. How I like to do it, if I'm doing mobile mechanic work, I will start in the front side, do the front brakes, and then work my way to the back. I don't lift up the car and do the front and the back all at the same time. I do the front brakes and then the back. I just split it up like that. I left the front end and start there. So I was starting in the front end, trying to do the brakes and everything. And I'm taking apart everything, and the brake hoses are just shot. They're ruined. The rubber brake hoses are bad. I tell him, hey, you need new rubber brake hoses because it's literally torn. He's like, okay, cool. Brings me the parts. All the parts are wrong. I send them back. He brings me parts. Again, they're wrong. So I go in, check out the parts. I get the right parts. I go back to work on the car. Next thing I know, the caliper seized up. It was compressed so far out and it sat for 2 years all the way at the very bottom. So the calipers were shot. So we got new calipers, new brake, rubber brake hoses. After I do that, keep in mind, I'm doing this all at night because I work my full-time job, and at night, it's almost 1 a.m. I finish putting everything back together. I go to bleed it, and the hard line brake hose starts leaking because it was so rusted. So I'm like, hey, you need a new brake hose? And he's like, bro, you keep saying I need new work and this and that. And he thought I'm trying to rip him off. He thinks that I'm just making up this stuff and that it's not what it is. I'm like, dude, it's not my fault it's taking up a long time, and it's not my fault your parts are breaking, but this car sat for 2 years. You let the brakes get so bad, and you let it sit. So rust is going to ruin shit. So, I do it, go on. I bleed his brakes, do everything. I take it around the block. I don't take it on the street because his plates are expired. I don't want to get pulled over. So I just take it around the block, brake, make sure it brakes good, leave it. Next day, he's like, oh, thank you guys so much. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm going to give you a tip. The next, 2 hours later, it takes it on a test drive saying, you're the biggest piece of shit mechanic, this and that. My car, the steering wheel is shaking when I drive and this and that. And I'm like, I didn't touch the steering at all. There's nothing I touched that was the steering. There's plenty of other things that could be wrong, but enough. The brakes are perfect. I didn't touch any of the other stuff that was like that before I got the car. You just let it sit, you know. And it turns out his wheel was unbalanced, his wheel was fucked up or whatever, and it was just a whole mess. But it was such a pain in the butt job, and I dreaded that job because that job I was working way too long on that car, and it was raining, and it was like 3 a.m. when I finished doing the work. So not the funnest job. Wes, we had you here in Cali, says Human. Appreciate it, man. Bravo Django says, does the Auto require Wi-Fi for all the capabilities? No, I believe it doesn't. You just need Wi-Fi to make sure you update all the drives. But pretty much everything you don't need Wi-Fi for. I've used it without Wi-Fi, and it works perfectly fine. So, yeah. Human says, I bought some tools based on your recommendations. Amazing insights. Thanks, man. Hey, appreciate it, man. Thanks, bro. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm glad you like the tools. Wesley says, cool glasses, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, Wesley. Randy says, do O-rings go bad on MAF sensors when new maybe over tightening? Wait, what? Do the O-rings go bad on MAF sensors when new maybe over? I've never had that happen to me before. Maybe it would just sat in the parts store for way too long and the O-ring got brittle. I don't know. That's so weird. Maybe you put it in wrong and the O-ring kind of like the lip was a little bit up on it and it just, you know, smashed on it. Only thing I could think of. Huma says, how do you keep your hair clean when you're always under the greasy, rusty cars? I don't, man. I mean, I do and I don't. What I mean is, like, I still get my hair dirty all the freaking time. But when I get home, I just make sure I wash it, you know. But you know, it gets dirty when I'm working mobile mechanic work and I'm just laying on the ground and shit happens. So I have to wash it frequently. I hate most customers anymore. Yeah, I hate customers too sometimes. Hi, buddy. How's it going, man? David G says, I'm auto tech and wanting to get into make videos. How much harder is it recording and repairing vehicles? Huh. Hold on. You gotta plan it out. So what I mean is, if you know you're under a time constraint, you want to try to. If you're doing short form videos like reels, it's easier. But at the same time, you gotta plan it out. You know, so it's a little difficult because it'll slow down your time a little bit. The more you do it, the quicker you'll get. But sometimes it can be a drag. If you really need to get the car out the door, if you really need to finish the shop quick, most of the time I can't record it because I needed to do it like now. Like I needed like that. But most of the time, if I'm pretty confident, I know how the jobs are going to go. I know I have time. You know, it's not that bad. It's not that hard doing it. It's just getting the right angles, getting the right tripod. Here, let me show you. Getting a tripod like this really helps. You know, getting a magnetic tripod helps. But it's not that much harder. It's just more time management. You've got to get a lot better at time managing when it comes to recording, working on cars. But I highly recommend you doing it. If you need any more tips or tricks on, like, you know, recording reels while working on cars, bro, I'm happy to help. I'm actually super passionate about that. So I love giving people tips and tricks about that. So just message me on Instagram at Gearhead Brian. I have a blue check mark next to my name, the official Gearhead Brian. And yeah, I'll be happy to give you more insider stuff about that. But yeah, just message me on Instagram. I'll be happy to help you. Human, I am drinking an RC. I'm just drinking an RC, nothing crazy. Yeah. No problem, Keem. Yak Piston says, what did you say? It ain't easy being Brian. I mean, everyone's life's different, you know. But it'd be an adventure, I'll tell you that. All right. Jaden Jr. says, what's the easiest sporty car you've worked on? Recently, it was technically a Hyundai Genesis. It was such an awesome car to work on. I made a video about it. Now, the second easiest car, I'd say. Okay, I'll give you two. So, the one that I've owned is a 1988 Toyota Corolla. This car is super easy to work on. It's a sporty car back in the day. Super easy car to work on. The only annoying thing to do is the clutch on this thing. It's such a pain in the butt to try to get the transmission back into the car. Such a pain in the ass. But other than that, awesome. Next, recently that I've worked on, I think the Mazda RX-8 is pretty easy to work on, personally. I love it. Super, super easy to work on. So if you're wondering about that, really easy car. Pot PTV says, sorry, burped a little bit. Just got onto the live stream, so if no one asked, how did you learn all this trial and error? Did you grow up working on stuff? No one asked that yet. People ask that sometimes while on the stream. So how I got into, how did you learn on this? Pretty much, I came from so many different avenues when it comes to working on cars, guys. I had pretty much every background you could think of. I started out at 15, 16-year-old working on my first car, which was a red 1988 Toyota Corolla coupe. It did not run. My dad was a painter, but he worked on cars. His dad was a master mechanic, so he taught me everything he knows. And I learned how to work on cars ever since I was 15, 16 years old. And then from there, I worked on my own car. I couldn't afford to bring it to a mechanic. I learned on my own, so I had to do everything, learn on my own through trial and error. And then after that, eventually, I went into, I worked as an automotive technician at Sears. I also did school. I went into the schooling avenue, so I was at Lincoln College of Technology, LTI, really awesome school, absolutely love it. I went to school for it. I was an auto technician at Sears, then I became a mechanic at Sears, a mechanic at Pep Boys, mechanic at a different shop. Just in general, I've gone through different avenues. I was apprentice as well in the beginning, when I was an auto tech. But yeah, I went through every avenue. I've been an apprentice. I've done schooling. I've learned firsthand. I've learned trial and error. I've learned doing mobile mechanic work. I've been a mobile mechanic. I used to, when I went out to Puerto Rico, because I'm Puerto Rican, I went to work on cars in Puerto Rico, and we did not have a lot of tools in Puerto Rico. I had to make do with what I had. So my master mechanic grandpa kind of gave me more of an insider of, hey, work with what you got, and it really clicked. And this is how I learned a lot of the techniques that I show you guys. It's because of him. It's because of my master mechanic uncle. It's because of my dad. It's because of a lot of people I've learned from, and I've taken the experience, and that's how I am the way I am. So yeah. Junior says, oh, never mind. I think that's a rear-wheel drive. That's a rear-wheel drive Corolla, you said. Wait, what? Man, all front-wheel cars are a pain in the butt. No, Jaden, yeah, that car I showed you is actually front-wheel drive. But that one's actually not a pain in the butt that much. It's just the cross member. They put a cross member in, and it's still a pain in the butt. I know how to do it now, but it's still a pain in the butt regardless. But yeah, you're right. Most front-wheel drive clutches are a pain. All right, do you work on motorcycles? No, I don't, but I'd love to. I'd love to get into work on motorcycles. Personally, I'll never drive one. What the heck is this? Personally, I'll never drive one, but yeah, I love them. Let's see. Human says, have you modified any cars, cams, headers, nitrous, added turbos, super duper charger to an aspirated engine? Yeah, I've modified cars. I've done technically an engine swap on one of my Corollas. So I dropped in a whole different engine, a twin cam engine, into one of my Corollas that didn't have one. I've done coilovers. Yeah, I've done headers on both Corollas. I've had a Mustang. I did headers on the Mustang. I've done, I poured and polished the cylinder, how do I say it? I poured and polished the cylinder head. What else have I done? I'm trying to think what else I've done. Coilovers, I already told you that. A bigger brake kit. Rear disc conversion technically on one of, that was on my car actually, never mind. I'm trying to think of what else I've done personally. Of course, the intake. Yeah, that's all I can think of in my head right now. All right. Sorry, guys. There's a lot of questions coming in. So if I haven't answered your question, my bad. I'm just getting to as many questions as I can. If I haven't answered it yet, wait a little bit and then just drop it again, and I'll be happy to answer it. So just trying to get them all at the same time. So 1 second. Ricardo says, do you like lower trucks or lifted trucks? Personally, I'm not a fan of either. If it's a lower truck, if it's like cleanly lowered, like just very lightly, okay. Lifted, I don't like most lifted trucks. If there are a lifted truck, they have to have the right, nice luck wheel setup, you know? Because a lot of them don't look that good. What's in the picture in the background frame? Oh, here, 1 second. Hey, beautiful, how's it going? Here, 1 second, guys. Hi, honey. Come here. Okay. Okay, hold on. All right, give me 5 seconds, guys. My daughter says hi. It's okay. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm back. Okay, what did I miss? Whew, it's hot. Chair stream, lol. Sorry, I had to go make sure my daughter was okay. Let's see where I missed out. Where was I on? Oh, what's the picture in the background? Here, I'll show you right now. All right, so my fiance got me this, but it's a Nissan D, picture. It's really cool. So it's like an old magazine or whatever, and she took it put it in a frame, and then gave it to me for my birthday. So really freaking cool. Honestly, really like it. And then this is my YouTube plaque. Let's go, Kieran Bryant. Yeah, but yeah, that's just a Nissan D thing. And then that's just, my plaque. So the more you know. Let me flip the camera around. Okay. Ricardo says, do you speak Spanish? No, I don't speak Spanish fluently. I understand it completely. I was raised in a Spanish household, so I understand it completely. I just don't speak it fluently. But yeah, I love Diesel says, I love your videos. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, bro. Worst vehicle brand to work on? Audi is the worst one to work on, in my opinion. Audi. Dog water car to work on. To drive, cool. They're cool cars to drive. I love it. But to work on, they're a piece of crap. All right. Let's see what else I missed, guys. My bad. If I didn't get to your question yet, just trying to do it a little bit at a time. Do you think an E36 is a reliable car? They can be, if you take care of them, It's just up to, I believe the E36 has the M54 in it still. If I remember correctly, it's been a minute. But yeah, the M54 is a super reliable engine. They came into E60s as well. But yeah, they can be real reliable. Just make sure you're up to the maintenance and you'll be fine on them, All right, let's see. What could happen if I don't change my sock that's bad? It depends on how bad the sock is, you know? Because sometimes it'll just bottom out completely and then the car will scrape or whatever. Sometimes the spring can literally just snap out if the spring's bad and then you're in a world of hurt. What I do is I'd recommend to save up as quick as you can and then try to just drive, cautiously, slow, and try to avoid taking bumps. I've had to do it in the past when I had a bad sock, but I'd highly recommend getting a sock ASAP. Trust me, don't get me wrong. I've done it. I've limped it, for a while without it, but it can be dangerous. So I wouldn't recommend doing it. Anything can be reliable if you're up to date on the maintenance. Almost everything, yes. Depends on what it is. It's not scraping. It's popping. So Chapo, do you hear it like clunk too or what? Jay, mechanic in the wild in its natural habitat. What would you say is the number one rule when doing a turbo kit? The most important thing is the oil routing. Making sure you have adequate amount of oil. And to the turbo and to the engine, most important thing. So making sure you're the way you route your oil, and if it's the pickup actually picks it up. Those are the most important things when it comes to the turbo kits. I'm trying to think what else that's super important. Wait, let me reread the question because I feel like what else is number one thing rule when doing a turbo kit? I also wouldn't say don't cheap out. I'd say also don't cheap out completely. Like you can go cheap, but I wouldn't. What I do is instead of going on eBay and getting the iconic turbo kit that's only $600, scrap that idea. So what you want to do is build your own turbo kit. Get the you can still get an eBay turbo if you want, but build your own turbo kit. Don't get the turbo kit off of eBay. Fuck that. Build it yourself. Get the turbo. Get the oil. The oil return lines. Get the intercooler. Get a different intercooler. Get the piping for it. Get the boost gauge. You want to build the turbo kit yourself. Don't get the eBay turbo kits. Or some other websites sell actual genuine nice turbo kits with quality parts as well. Okay, so Luan says, hey, I'm 14. My car started knocking while accelerating, going up a hill. It pulls to the side. What could it be? Is the engine knocking? Is the suspension knocking? What's knocking? How did you become so knowledgeable about cars? No, I started working on cars when I was 15, 16, and I just learned through different avenues. I learned through, working on cars myself, my project cars, my daily driver, friends' cars, working as a mechanic, working as a lube tech, school, experience in general, my master mechanic uncle, my master mechanic grandfather, my father in general. I've learned through a lot of different avenues. Have you tuned any cars? Only car I've tuned is a the old 80s cars. So I've tuned cars with carburetors and stuff. I've dialed it in, got it close to running, stuff like that. My brother, we did a Weber swap onto his 88 Corolla. We installed it. It would turn on, but it wouldn't stay running. I tuned it so it would stay running, and and then he sent it to a shop to get it real dialed in. But the only cars I've tuned are those. I haven't gone in with a laptop and tuned. I've only tuned the old school carburetor way. Do you like Miatas? Miatas aren't bad. They're not for me. Like, if I ever got a Miata, it'd be the new ones, like the new MX-5s or whatever. Those look cool. Those ones look really cool, and I can see myself in one of those. Or an NB Miata is pretty cool too. Really easy to work on. Brian, do you like Ford Rangers? No, I don't like Ford Rangers, man. But it's because of me. They look good. I love how they look. I just don't like how they drive. I remember I got to drive one for my work. Oh, Eliana in the background. I got to drive one for my work, and man, for one, it was slow, and two, like it feels like you're rowing a boat in the stick shift ones, man. It's like you're, and then you're going, and then like it literally feels like you're rowing a boat when you're sifting that car. I don't know. It's not for me. This guy is genuinely the only person I'll watch live. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. What's Miniman? Samuel, I can't pronounce it. What minivan is more reliable? 2017 Chrysler Pacifica or a 2017 Toyota Sienna? By far, without a doubt, didn't even have to think about it, the Toyota Sienna. By far, super reliable car. Absolutely, highly recommend you getting them. Go for it. Don't even think about it. Any recommendations, Elias? Sorry. Any recommendations for a good 3/8 ratchet? Maybe a flex head extendable. I'd say I recommend it all the time on my channel, but it's because I daily use this ratchet. And it's a 3/8 drive flex head ratchet, extended ratchet from Vim Tools. I have it linked on my at the top of the link in here and on my profile. It's like $50. No, I think they went up. They used to be $50. Now they're $75, so they're a little bit up there. Now, if you want to get like a name brand tool, Vim Tools is technically name brand. But if you want a name brand tool that's a little pricey, but pretty much the same as the Vim Tools one, Snap-on has one. It's about $180 to $200. Would I recommend it? Probably not, because it's a little way too pricey for a price point. But Gear Wrench sells some good ones. Capri Tools just came out with some good flex head ratchets. But don't get the 72 tooth one. I believe they sell the 90 tooth one, and it's really nice, fine ratcheting. I love it. For Capri Tools, only get the 90 tooth ratcheting. I wouldn't get anything under for theirs, because it's too clunky. The 72 tooth is too clunky on Capri Tools. But yeah, I highly recommend the Vim Tools. Gear Wrench, if you could get it above 72 teeth. Husky sells good ones. Again, go above 72 teeth. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm trying to remember another one. But yeah, those are some good brands. All right, let me see what questions I missed. Guys, if I missed your question, my bad. I'm trying to get to all of them as quick as I can, but, you know, it just keeps toppling and toppling. Whoa, did I miss a super chat? Oh, Ben, thanks for the super chat, man. I really appreciate it. If you had a question, make sure you... Oh, you did have a question. You ever heard of a Toyota D4D engine? It's a 2.0 diesel. No, I've never heard of it. What car did that come out of? I've never heard of that, man. How much do you think all your tools are worth collectively? That's rough. I have a lot of tools. I don't know. That's hard. That's really, I don't know. That's hard to say, man. I can't say. For sure about, I don't know. At least at minimum $3,000. At least. Minimum. I want to say 3,000. 2 to 3,000. I don't know. It's just up there. I don't know. I'd have to like dissect it completely. You know, but my impact gun alone from Matco was like, oh no, that one I got on sale. Never mind. So yeah, probably 2 to 3K. I can't say off the top of my head. I'm not sure. I'd have to write it down. Bayron says Snap-on or Milwaukee. Milwaukee every day of the week. It's more affordable, and they're genuinely quality tools. I love them. They're worth the price point by far. Snap-on, I like Snap-on, but it's way overpriced. You know, if you can get it at a garage sale, like a electric ratchet on a garage sale, get it, and then it's worth it in my opinion. But Milwaukee, any day of the week, because you could buy it brand new and have a quality tool. So highly recommend, that Milwaukee. Brian, what do you think about Hart Tools, the Walmart brand? I like them. I've used some stuff from Hart, and they're not bad. I haven't used a lot of tools from Hart, but Hypertough and Hart, they're nice. They're not bad. Bobby says, do you like the new Snap-on multimeter? I haven't used it personally. Ty says, how does one maintain a hardtop convertible? Personally, I've never owned one, so I don't have that much good advice on it. I'm so sorry. But if anyone in the comment, in the chat can let us know how to take care of a convertible top, let me know. But I'm sure they sell maybe maintaining gear for it to help preserve the cloth and stuff like that. I just don't know. Jake says, I'm very proud of you. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yakfist, you still need to do a toolbox walkthrough. I know, man. It's funny because I record the first 10 minutes of it, and I need to record the last bit of it. But every time I go to record the other one, I run out of time. So hopefully I can maybe do it this week. I was supposed to do it last week, but again, I was stocked up with work, so I couldn't do it because it takes a good amount of time. Since it's a long form video, it's at least 20, 30, 40 minutes of just recording, so it's a little harder to do. Ben Robinson says, I like snapping bolts on lower control arms. I'm dead. That's the pain in the butt. It happens all the time with Toyota Priuses. I've had that happen all the time where they snap clean off. Do you trust plastic car ramps? Personally, I've never used them. Would I trust them? Probably not. Unless they're a very reputable brand and you can find good car reviews on them. But personally, I don't really trust them like that. But yeah, that's just me though. I'm not saying they're horrible. I just wouldn't trust them. Do more repair videos, Randy says. Yeah, I definitely will. I've been releasing short, minute-long repair videos, but the goal is to release a long-form video every single week. I've just been really busy with work, but the goal is to do it. I finally got the computer to actually process that type of editing. So yeah. The legend himself. Thanks, man. Bayron says, you bought tools from Amazon? Yes, all the time I buy tools from Amazon. That's why a lot of the times the tools that I recommend you guys, I got from Amazon. So if it's on Amazon, it's because I own it from there, I've owned it from there, or I have a friend who's got it from Amazon. But regardless, yes, I buy tools from Amazon all the time. Now, some of them are actually name brand tools, like, let's say Milwaukee, or Gear Wrench, or Ulsa Tools, or Astro Tools, whatever, Some of them aren't. Some of them are generic Amazon tools, but I've used all of them, all the above, Brian, what type of music do you listen to when you work on cars? I listen to, when I work on cars, it depends on what vibe I'm in. Sometimes I'll play reggaeton. Sometimes if I'm really vibing, I'll put bachata. Sometimes I'll put rap on, like Kendrick Lamar. Sometimes I'll put, maybe 2000s music, 2000s pop. Old reggaeton, old school bachata. What else? Yeah, that's the type of music I usually listen to. Have you used the Mech AI app? No, I've honestly haven't, not yet. What kind of maintenance is required on manual transmission? I highly recommend it on a manual transmission. When you first own the car, as soon as you buy a manual transmission car, change out the gear oil. The gear oil hasn't been changed in God knows how long. So I highly recommend you changing the manual. It's called gear oil or manual transmission oil, whichever one it is. Change that out because most people don't do it. And it'll make the car shift so much smoother, trust me. Got any recommendations for starter toolbox? I highly recommend Husky Tools. Has some good, Husky Tools. Husky has some good toolboxes. Harbor Freight has some great toolboxes, so highly recommend you using Harbor Freight. Very affordable, very nice toolboxes. 80s and 90s rap is the best. Yeah, it's dope. I like to listen to that too. What was I gonna say? Human says flushing automatic transmission is better or changing. Generally, generally just changing it. Generally, like if you ever touch it, like at least over here, we just change it. We don't even bother flushing it. That's just over here though. Now, what is that? My personal opinion. I'm not, new filter, and just put new OEM fluid in, but I don't really go about flushing it personally. Brian, Ricardo says, Brian, what could cause my automatic transmission to hard shift? Transmission fluid has been changed. Have you changed the filter on it? And did you use OEM fluid? If you did not use OEM fluid and you just use some random brand like Valvoline or whatever, it's no bueno. You gotta get some OEM fluid, put a brand new filter in, and then sometimes even if you do that, sometimes the clutches are just so worn that it's just slipping completely. And when you had the old fluid, some of the old dirt, old thing just gave it friction and would help it. But like that's just sometimes what happens when you change the fluid. That's why a lot of people don't recommend it. Randy Green says, do I like BMW? I love BMW. I love driving BMW. I love working on BMW. I've had a BMW. It was an awesome freaking car. Awesome car. I loved it. It was a 2004 BMW 525i and E60. Beautiful car. I loved it. Austin C says, bro, all respect. Have you tried speech therapy? Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Not really, Not really my thing. When I was younger, yes. Didn't really help that much. Can a tensioner assembly be bad but still tight? What? Can a tensioner assembly be bad but still tight? I mean, if a belt tensioner is still like tight and holding its thing, it's good unless it's a non-separable. Wait, are you talking about a timing tensioner or a belt tensioner? What are you talking about? Brian, do you watch any sports? Nah, personally, I don't really watch too many sports. Not gonna lie. Sam says, do you have a Mac guy that comes every week? No, we don't have a Mac guy. Mac's nice guy. My friend had a Mac tools guy. Brian, I put my truck back together and it rotated fine. I'm scared. What? Wait, what? Tanksky, what happened? You said you put your truck back together and it rotated fine. I'm scared. And that's what you mean by that, bro. But you got this. Matt from work says, love your videos, B. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Thanks, human. Really appreciate it, bro. Austin sees no respect, bro. I love your videos. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, bro. Austin C says, what got you into YouTube, man? Honestly, I started YouTube because of this car. Oh, where'd it go? I started YouTube because of this car. Me and my brother back in the day would always talk about like, oh, we need to do a YouTube video. No one makes videos on this car. It's a 1988 Toyota Corolla. No one makes videos on this car, blah, 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 blah. So I started getting to YouTube because of this car, and then eventually it never popped off, obviously, because this car is so rare. Not a lot of people, work on this car or have this car. And then eventually I was working at work, I was working with my friend, and my friend was my coworker. And he kept asking me questions on working on cars, and he can't get something out, and it was stuck, and he didn't know how to do it. So I showed him a trick to get it out, And then after I showed him the trick to get it out, he's like, what the heck? So then after I showed him the trick, like maybe another day or two, he asked for my help. I showed him another trick. He's like, dude, this is crazy. Like, this is, like, I had no idea. And for me, I'm like, this is a no-brainer trick. I don't know what you're talking about. So from that day, on top of my best friend He told me like, hey, Brian, you need to go more broad into making videos and this and that. You need to be more broad with your content. And so I took the 2 and 2 and I started making videos on how to help people work on cars, tips and tricks on how to work on people, cars. Because not a lot of people show you, when something goes wrong, how to go about it. Nobody shows that. Nobody shows when a part's stuck and, and you just can't get it out, and you can't, no one shows the really nitty gritty how to get through a tough problem. No one shows tricks like that. So I'm like, I got to do that because, I do it all the time at my job. I teach the new guys and show all of these tricks and videos I show you, I show to the new guys. So I'm like, you know what? I'll record it and make videos, and that's exactly what I did. Matt from work says, I just noticed that sure is awesome. Thanks, man. Sam Thomas says, Corolla SR5 twin cam rear wheel drive. Thanks, man. I don't know why I said thanks, man. But yeah, the one I have is actually a 1988 Toyota Corolla GTS with the 4AGE twin cam. And this one's actually front wheel drive. Austin C says, how old are you, bro? I am, drum roll, please. I am 26 years old. Where's my soda? 26 years old, Austin. Quinn says, yo! Brian says, hey, I watch a lot of your videos, and I love them all, and I love your crazy hair, too. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. For both the hair and the videos. Really appreciate you. And it's cool that you have the same name as me, man. That's crazy. Ricardo Valadez says, how many cars do you have in total? So I have a 1988 Toyota Corolla. Again, I will show this like every 5 minutes in the stream. This is the car I own, but it's not in this color. But yeah, so I own this car. I have 2 of them. So I have a 1988 Toyota Corolla, right-hand drive from Japan. So it's, right-hand drive. And then I have a 1989 Toyota Corolla Coupe, USDM, and then I have an RX-8. So that's 3 cars, a Mazda RX-8 2004. And then I have a 2025 Honda Civic Type R in Boost Blue. So yeah, I own 4 cars right now. Manual or auto for a daily driver? Honestly, I'd say you can't go wrong with either. The thing is, if you're a mechanic or if you have a highly intensive labor job, sometimes you just feel so tired that you don't want to drive a manual. Now, I went from automatic, driving an automatic all the time to going back to driving a manual as a daily. And I love it. Absolutely love it. I don't mind it. When I get tired, I just put cruise control. So, manual is definitely the way to go. Here, 1 second, guys. Give me 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let me just turn off the AC. Woo. It's cold in here. Okay, I'm back. All right. Yusuf says, can I work with you? Hey, man. We don't have any openings at my job, but if you're ever around the area, I'll be happy to help whenever I have time. But, time's a little slim. But, you could always message me. Manual. Oh, I already answered that. Okay, I'm back. Is camming a truck bad for the engine, Brian? If you don't go with too much of a aggressive profile, you're fine, But, yeah. Just don't go with, aggressive cam. Uh, Hoopman says, how do mechanics flirt? What are the pickup lines? Damn, what are pickup lines from a mechanic? Guys, give me ideas. Pickup lines from mechanic. Let's see. Pickup lines from mechanics. Damn, I don't know any good pickup line. Yeah, I don't have any off the top of my head. Oh well, if you guys have any, let me know. But I don't have any pickup lines, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Yak Fishing says, "Why, boy? Why? What? Why, boy?" I'm dead. I know several. I'm DT. Yo, that's hilarious. Pipe Snipe says, "Let me lube that chassis." That's got to be you're taking the cake for that. Human says, "Are you a torque wrench? Because every time you're near, I feel the tension rising." That's a good one. That's a good one. I thought you were about to say something with a click. I don't know why. You're gonna say something with a click. Camping a truck usually isn't bad as long. Oh, camming. Back her up, all God. Yo, that's crazy. Back her up, all God. That's crazy. Pit Snipe has the best freaking. That's hilarious, man. No opinion on the S2000. Oh, I like the S2000. It's a nice car. I wouldn't own one, mainly because it doesn't have a back seat. You know, generally when I have a car, it has to have a back seat for my daughter. It just comes with the territory, you know. But I would have one maybe later on when I have a big driveway and a garage. Maybe I'll own one, but as of right now, I wouldn't own one. But I like them. Quinn, has I done any tuning? I haven't. If you're talking to me, I don't know if you're talking to me, but I haven't. Only on old school carburetor cars. We gotta stop. I could do this all day. I gotta make a book of all your pickup lines, Pit Snipe. That was hilarious. Hi. Hope it helped. I'm dead, Bruce Wayne. Yo, Human says I got a piston, but I'd rather be in your cylinder. That's hilarious. Quinn says, Brian, no EFI tuning. Not that I can remember. I literally don't think I've tuned an EFI car. Not that I feel like maybe there's nah, I don't think there is. Yeah, I don't think I've ever tuned an EFI car. Pit Snipe says, hey, I'm going to tell y'all, I had a D8 scan tool question, and our boy Brian got back to me. He's a real one, yo. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, bro. Anytime. I'm glad to help you. A says, I bought it, and it messed up. It's been collecting dust because I always go out with the fam, so the car is kind of paperwork at the moment. Damn! Sounds like I want to pick up your car as a project car, man. That's crazy. What's your plans with it? Are you going to try to what do you need to do to it, Because that's crazy, That's cool, though. Man, those are cool cars to work on, though. But, yeah, I'd love one day. But, personally, it's not like a car where I'm like, I got to get it right now. Because, doesn't have a backseat. But, damn, yeah, what's the plan for it, man? You selling it? You selling it? That's crazy. You ever get in trouble other mechanics by giving out tips? Man, Santa Juan, I get that a lot sometimes. In the beginning, I got it a lot. A lot of people were like, they're saying, oh, stop giving out the tips and tricks. Stop doing that. You're gonna, you're losing customers, or you're this or that, or why are you telling everyone the secrets? There's nothing to hide, man. There's nothing to hide. One thing you got to realize, this is going to help a lot of people. You know what I mean? The people who are capable are going to work on their car regardless. Me not telling you, or me telling you, is not going to make a difference. This is to help mechanics and people who want to work on the cars on their own. Because, guys, you're going to do it regardless. So I want to help you, So, I don't know. I will fight back at them because there's nothing to hide, I learned this through experience or through another mechanic. So I'm not going to just hide it and keep all these secrets to myself. There's just no point, Oh, shoot. Thanks, Jesus. Really appreciate it, man. Thanks, man. Thanks for the super chat. Jesus or Jesus, whichever one it is. Appreciate it, man. If you have any question, let me know. I don't know if you dropped one and I didn't see it, but yeah, man, appreciate the super chat, bro. A says, oh wait, what did it say? I was the one that messed it up. The car is fine. I got the turbo kit for it, but haven't really had time to drive it. NA. I was the one that messed up. The car is fine. I got the turbo kit for it, but haven't really had time to drive it. NA. Thanks for all the tips. No problem, man. Thanks for the super chat, bro. I really appreciate you. Also needs paint. Body kit. The guy with the S2000, I can't pronounce your name. If you're in Illinois, man, let me know, because that would be cool to do videos on that shit. It just looks really nice in the driveway, LOL. Yeah, man, if you're in Illinois, message me. You know, that'd be cool. KR says, where did I get this shirt? My fiance actually got me this shirt, man. I think she got it from GameStop. But yeah, I love this shirt. Yeah, love it. Don't destroy the fridge. Roger's hilarious. Alex says, thanks for all the tips, man. Really appreciate it. You ever work on any 1.9 TDIs, or are they rare in the States? TDIS sounds familiar. What car is that? Is that Volkswagen? Ricardo Valdelas, do you live in Chicago? That's where the wait, what? Do you live in Chicago? That's where my GF is from. Oh yeah. I'm in the general area of it, But that's cool, man. Yeah, we're pretty much in the same state, so that's awesome, bro. Thanks. What state are you in, Ricardo? Pit Snipe says that shirt gives off all the dad vibes. Love it. Hey, man, gotta represent. And technically it's 4th of July colors, it's red. This is kind of red. Red, what? Red, white, and blue. So technically 4th of July, so. Oh my God, Human has another pickup line. He says, I don't need a jack. I get a lift every time I see that bot. Yo, that's crazy. It's Aaron. Okay, Aaron, the car was in Texas from when I was in the Army, but got out and came back home. It's in Puerto Rico with me. Yo, Aaron, that's so dope. You're in Puerto Rico. Are you Puerto Rican, bro? I'm Puerto Rican as well. I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican. So that's cool, bro. I'm going to Puerto Rico. I don't know when, but I'm going to Puerto Rico maybe sometime this year, hopefully at the end of this year. So, man, maybe I'll swing by, bro, So message me on Instagram, and maybe I could just do a video, swing by you, bro, and, just see how it is, see what's going on with it, Maybe help for 10, 15, 20 an hour, and help you out, So message me on Instagram, bro. I'm happy to help you, bro. I'd love to make a video on that. What else I missed? KR says, thanks for the tips. Alex says, Volkswagen turbocharged direct injection, old diesels from early 2000s. No, I've never worked on those, but I've worked on the new TDIs. I've worked on 2 TDIs, Volkswagen Jettas. They were the wagon version. They were a annoying pain in the butt. Is it worth modding my 2002 Accord? Personally, no. I wouldn't. Wait, what engine does it have in it? I think those came with the V6 and the 4 cylinders, but personally, I wouldn't. The more popular platforms are the Civic, obviously, so maybe getting a 99 Civic. That gen has the most aftermarket support. So if you could go down to a 99 Civic, 98 Civic, 96 Civic, 97 Civic, whatever, those are the best to modify. The 2001 to 2004 Honda Civics don't have that much aftermarket support. They have some, but not as good as the EK generation. But you can still modify it. I mean, if you're just going for looks, you could just drop, put some coilovers on it, put some wheels on it, paint it, tint, stuff like that. But if you want to go serious, exterior looks plus performance, EK is a way to go. Pit Snipe says, girl dads, fist bump, man. Speaking of girl dads, here, 1 second, I got to go check on my beautiful daughter. Okay. I'm back. I'm back, guys. I'm back. Leave the whole 2 accord alone. Oh my god. I got a kit that makes that body fly. What? Oh my god. Pet snipe's still going. Brian, what's your favorite Puerto Rican food? My favorite Puerto Rican food is alcapuria and alcapuria. What else? Pollo guisado. I like empanadillas. What else? I'm trying to think of another one. I feel. Polvorones. I love those too. Puerto Rico is cool. Appreciate it, man. How's it going, Echo Jay? Nice to see you in this live stream, man. Pit snipe. Love my Ricans. Fist bump, bro. Hell yeah. My Accord guy VTech, bro. Hey, that's awesome. All right. I feel like I'm missing a bunch of comments. Sorry, guys. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up to all the comments. Any opinions on Subarus? Subarus, I like Subarus. But if you're picking one up secondhand like a WRX, it could be a real pain in the neck. They'll have a lot of issues like fuel leaking issues, rust in the rear quarters, by the strut tower, the head gaskets. They could be a big pain in the butt, like really bad. Nice Calgarian says, thanks for the test, bro. No problem, man. No problem, man. DGS, yeah, I'd recommend getting a shop vac. Yeah, get a shop vac to get all that water out so it doesn't go into the cylinder. I'd highly recommend that. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just. Sorry, I'm making sure I don't miss all these comments. There's a lot. Latin Com, yeah. Nice to see you drop in and say hello. And I'm glad you've enjoyed all the content. That's really awesome, man. Aaron, I'll definitely hit you up. Just post the date, and there might be a cool event you could go to. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, definitely hit me up, and yeah, I'll let you know. Oh yeah, I think there's something I missed. Hold on. Mario, yo, how's it going, man? Impala, I just never liked Impalas like that. But the power steering pumps in those go bad very often. If you don't fix it, you're going to have a leak everywhere. It's going to like this. The entire car will be caked up. Literally, I just worked on one this week. It's really bad. But it'll ruin a lot of stuff if you don't fix it. Where do you work, G? I work in Illinois, man. No problem, man. Do you buy, fix, and sell cars? Not anymore, Human. I used to, but not anymore. Peace out. Love your videos. Thanks, DGZ, man. I appreciate you. Should I switch to the automotive field from welding? I mean, if you like welding, I wouldn't switch, you know. Welding pays really good. From my understanding, welding pays good. If you're okay with a potential, pay drop, then okay. Some places pay really good for automotive. Some places don't, you know. But I know a lot of places pay good for welding. Aaron says, how's the Type R? I went to the dealer for the OEM oil filter, and I almost traded the Honda for the new Type R. That's crazy. I love the new Type R, man. It's an absolute dream to drive. It's a perfect daily because I got my daughter. I could fit her in the back. I can go to the beach. I can go to work. I could go bring in parts that I got, from the post office all the way to my job. Like, perfect daily, but it's also really quick, really fun. Really good looking. I love the car. I always get compliments on it all the time. Alex Lawler says, thanks for answering my comments, Brian. Appreciate it. Just wanted to say love watching your vids and think your channel is going to go really far. You're a pleasure to watch. Really helpful. Thanks. No problem, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Human says, ever done a collab with another YouTuber? No, but I'm planning to. Ty, the car guy, if you know him, I'm going to be doing a collaboration with him eventually when I could either drive out to his shop or he drives down to me. I'm planning hopefully on doing a collab with Matt Parker. And then I'm trying to do, I forgot who else I collaborated with. I think that's it. To me, Hondas or Legos, Echo G says. Yeah, Aaron, those foods do go hard. All right, sorry, I didn't mean to miss any questions. Guys, feel free to drop in any questions that you may have. If you ask me a question and I don't answer it in a few minutes, just drop it again sometimes, Sometimes all the questions didn't come in so fast, it buries other questions. So I'm not ignoring your question. It's just I might have not seen it because it got buried. Mario says, Alex the car doctor. Yeah, he's a really cool guy. I got to do a collab with him as well. Really cool guy. Matthew says, are you a normal mechanic or a tuner? I'm a normal mechanic. But eventually, if I do, get into, making my own shop or whatever, I'm going to be into tuning cars and stuff like that. But I'd really love to get into tuning. That'd be fun. Or a performance car shop in general, Yakfis says, welding pays amazingly in Atlanta. Plus, it's easier if you want to start your own business. Pitch Knife says, talk about flipping cars, dude. People need to hear it. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Flipping cars is definitely it's just there's a lot that can go wrong that people don't realize. That's my big beef with it, I flipped the cars a couple months ago, but I wasn't doing it back to back anymore. All right, let's see. Sorry, guys, just looking through all the things. MNJ Mechanic says, hey, bro, I want to get into a shop, but most of my experience is just from my own cars, and shops don't seem to want to hire me since I don't have a real shop experience. Any tips for me? I'd highly recommend, if you can't get into a direct shop, try starting somewhere like a lube tech position, essentially, like an automotive technician at a Pep Boys, at a Midas, at a I am probably more Pep Boys. I don't like Midas that much, but something like that, and then you'll get your kind of lube tech experience or whatever. And they'll move you up. Sometimes they move you up to mechanical work or this and that. But in general, if you work technically with places like that, like a automotive franchise, it just at least gives you some wiggle room to get into a bigger shop. What else? I'm trying to think. Try to search for shops that are looking for an apprentice. Look for that or entry level mechanics. Look on Indeed. Check out Indeed and see if you can find any entry-level mechanics or, or start at a dealership and you can work your way up to being a mechanic. But there's a couple different avenues to go about. You could always lie on your resume. No, I'm joking. I mean, you could, but, but, but yeah, I'd say try to just find a shop that will take you in as an apprentice, So, or you can do an ultimatum and be like, hey, I have no shop experience, but I'm a really good mechanic. Give me a week. I'll work for free for a week. If I'm just saying, give them an ultimatum, like, hey, I'll do this for this amount of time. And if you're not sold on my work, okay. But I guarantee you by the end of this week, you'll hire me as a full-time mechanic. That happens. I've had a friend do that. And he's gotten a job like that, It doesn't work in all places, but it works in some places. Aaron says, I'm a bounce. Have a good night. Blessings. Keep up the good work. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Stretch, what is your question? I saw you said, please help, but I didn't see your question. Pit Snipe says, no worries, Bri. We got some chatter over here that don't need to be noticed, but the crowd's getting bigger and bigger. That's what we want. Hell yeah. Guys, if you are joining in, be sure to drop a like. I mean, if you're enjoying the stream, drop a like. If you're joining in, drop a like. And if you have any questions, drop them down below. I will get to them as quick as I can. If I didn't answer it in a good amount of time or whatever, feel free to drop it again, and I'll try to go ahead and answer it. Stretch, I saw you said, please help. Drop your question again. Okay. Stretch says, I'm trying to start a business. I really need advice. So is the business automotive? Are you being a mobile mechanic? Are you a shop? What's your business? Which one are you? Are you doing a mobile mechanic? Are you opening your own shop? Or are you starting a YouTube? '05 Civic need to check head gasket. Yeah. '05 Civic head gaskets are like, I've had so much trauma with them. It sucks. Stretch says, yes, mobile. Okay, if you are a mobile mechanic, my best advice that I can give you for being a mobile mechanic is that you need to, word of mouth is going to be your best friend. So let's say if you don't have customers right now, talk to your friends and family. Be like, hey guys, do you know anyone who needs work? Do you need work? Whatever. Just talk to friends and family. Word of mouth is going to be the best thing. So you'll probably get for me, I started out neighbors, working on neighbor's car, going, to your neighbors and asking them, hey, do you know anyone who needs any work done? Pass out your card, make a card for yourself, pass out your card, give it to people. Word of mouth is going to be your biggest best friend, and making sure you leave a good impression on that customer that you do get. So then they are going to be like, hey, this guy is so good and he's affordable. Boom. Let me recommend him to my sister. Let me recommend him to my brother, to my coworker, whatever. Word of mouth is going to be your absolute biggest best friend when it comes to being a mobile mechanic. But yeah. Stretch says, I have an associate's degree in automotive technology, and I always under BOD. What's BOD mean? You're always under BOD? BOD? B-O-D? I'm not sure what you mean, man. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you. Yo, your videos are super helpful. Thanks, Jan. I really appreciate it, man. How to get a technician job if I got no experience, a little bit of education in automotive with a lot of knowledge. Wait, what? If I have no experience, a little bit of education in automotive experience with a lot of knowledge. You can get an automotive technician, technically like a lube tech job at pretty much any place they take you in quick. There's a lot of places that just take in apprentices in general. So that's how you can get in as automotive technician. And if you went to a school, they'll generally want to take you in as well. Aaron says, I'm back. Just scrolled through YouTube Shorts and saw your coquille tattoo. Hey, that's crazy, man. Yeah. Oh, here, one second. Hi, beautiful. You tired? Let's put you to bed. Let's put you to bed, huh? All right, guys, give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay. My daughter says hi. Okay. I'll be back. 5 minutes. Okay. Let's go to bed. It's okay. Hold on. Okay. I'm back. Woo, it's hot. Yes, she is Puerto Rican. Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican, man. So yeah, this is my tattoo. It's a hold on. Okay, so this is my tattoo. This is a coquille symbol, and then this is the shape of the island, and the sun, and So yeah. Okay. What are you doing, kitty? Okay. Are your brakes squealing? Oh my God, this guy. You're hilarious. Stay hood for BR. Let's go. What town in PR? So I got family in. What are you doing? In Guayama and in Arroyo. All right. I agree, Richard. Definitely do that. All right, sorry, I missed a couple. Yeah, guys, hit that like button. If you are in the stream and enjoying the stream, be sure to drop that like button. If you have any questions, be sure to drop any below. It could be about car tips, tricks, cars, anything in general. Feel free to drop it below. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up on the questions. I don't know, Atomic, I never liked the Nissan Armada, in my opinion. And I never liked the Dodge Rams that much. Like, some of them I kind of liked, but yeah. All right, so I'm just trying to. Do you speak Spanish? Or you ain't no sabo. That's hilarious. I'm not fluent in Spanish, so I understand it completely because I grew up with my parents talking to me in Spanish. But when I went to school, I spoke English because we were taught English, so English kind of took my main language. But yes, I understand Spanish completely. I listen to reggaeton and bachata. Can I understand it completely? Do I speak it fluently? Yes. I mean, no. Can I speak it? Yes, I could speak it, but I don't speak it fluently. Yeah, Human has hilarious freaking jokes. The only word that Brian pronounces with an accent is gearhead. LOL, we all thought his name was Garrett. I get, yeah, I do that all the time. When I talk fast, it sounds like I say Garrett Brian instead of Gearhead Brian. Yo, Brian, can you help me my car aircon isn't working at all until my car gets really hot in the summer. Wait, what? Summer while driving. So when you mean aircon, what do you mean? Are you saying like in general your air conditioning isn't working, or like your temperature controls isn't turning on at all, or like what's the status? What kind of car is it? A little bit more context. Would you rather retire in Puerto Rico or in the States? I don't know, man. Probably in the States. I feel like I'll visit Puerto Rico often, or maybe have like a house over there so I could visit it often. But I don't know if I'd retire in Puerto Rico. Maybe I'll change my mind later on, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So I'm just making sure I didn't miss any other ones. I probably did. Guys, if you have a question I've answered, be sure to redrop it down below, and I'll be happy to answer it. It just gets a little bit crowded up in here, so, again, my bad. Again, struts, when it comes to being a mobile mechanic, again, you just want to, people are going to like try to lowball you often, you know, and you just got to stick to your price. Your price is your price. You know, if you're unsure about how to price something, you could, you know, what I used to do when I was a mobile mechanic is I'd call shops and I'd ask them how much they charge for this. I wouldn't tell them I'm a mechanic. I'd just ask them how much they would charge for the labor for this. And then boom, you could also look up the book time, and then you are hilarious. I'd look up the book time for the job, and then I'd price accordingly how much I, you know, would do an hour, and then boom. But you always stick to your price, stick to your guns, and work by word of mouth. That's going to be your best and absolute best bet. Okay, 1 second. I'm trying to read all these comments. I have to recently. Okay, so Christopher says I have a 230 SLK compressor and recently engine overheated. The mechanic said head gasket and machine work on the engine. Do you think head gasket sealer? Head gasket sealer is not going to work. You know, it's not a good fix. Yeah, you're just gonna need unfortunately, you need a. But what do you mean by machine work is essentially you're going to have to like get the cylinder head cut so it's perfectly flat. Because what happened is it overheated. Now the cylinder head's like a little bit warped, so they need to cut it so it's flat, and then they'll put a new head gasket. So that's the biggest thing I recommend. I would not recommend a sealer. It's not going to genuinely fix it. How do you feel about auto glass technicians? I have no beef with them. You know, I almost became an auto glass technician. You know, it looked like a pretty cool job. So nothing against them. It might be the entire unit. What's it called? Oh, what's the name for it? I forgot the name of the unit, but it just literally might be the entire unit, because I used to have that happen on my BMW, where the system did not want to work at all. It would not work. It would not turn on, whatever. I remember one time what I would do, the unit, I know where the location was. It was under the dash, whatever, and you'd hit the unit, and it, like, whatever mechanic that was broken, it would, like, click, and then it'd start working again. But it sounds like the unit's just fried if it's not turning on whatsoever, because that's what happened to me. Yeah, Yakfizin says head gasket seal will also plug out the values. Yes, I agree. Adden says I'm buying a car, either 2015 Chevy Bolt or a 2024 4Runner TRD off-road. Get the 2024 4Runner. Do not touch that Chevy Bolt. I hate them. I've had a lot of bad stuff with them. But I would highly recommend you getting the 4Runner. Get the 4Runner. Best decision you can make. They're a little bit pricey, but they're worth every single penny. Atomic says I have a 2003 Honda transmission making a whining noise like if a polio was bad. What could it be? Has 20. What is it? Is it an automatic transmission, or is it a manual transmission for the 2003 Honda Civic? 03 Honda trans. Yeah, that's what I was asking. Nor says, so I followed your tips for removing sway bar links and wanted to let you know what? Wanted to let you know that mine got so bad I had to saw the sway bar link off. Dang. Sometimes it really be like that, man. I'm sorry that happens. I have a playlist of the different methods that you can do before you have to just saw it off. It could save you a lot more time sometimes, but, you know, sometimes it's just so bad, yeah, you do have to cut it off. Honestly, for me, it hasn't been like that recently. Pit Snipe says, I love glass guys. I ain't doing it. Yeah, I'm not doing it either. No problem, Daniel. 4Runner without question, yes. Your videos are great. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Automatic. Atomic, you said it's automatic. Let me reread your question. Whining noise, like as if. A pulley was bad. A whining noise. Anybody in the comments have any idea? I don't. Whining noise? I'm trying to think what that could be. And your surge coming from the transmission? Your surge coming from the transmission? It's sobbing quietly for retirement. That's hilarious, human. Oh shit! Your videos are very helpful. Keep up the great work, man. Thanks. You think the industry will be in better shape in 5 years or not? I don't know, man. You know, things are getting crazy, so I don't know. I can't really say. You know, it could definitely get pretty bad. But it could also get a lot better. You know, a lot of things are getting easier for mechanics. You know, it's getting a lot easier. New tools are coming out. New equipment's coming out. You know, so, you know, it can get a lot better. It could. What repair job do you dread the most? LT. I hate timing chains so much. They're not my cup of tea. I will avoid timing chains whenever possible. But I absolutely hate timing chains. I also hate, trying to think. I hate doing a wiring harness job, like a body harness job. That's a pain in the butt. I hate doing clutches on, like, very hard to access cars. But still, I'd rather do that than do a timing chain. I hate timing chains so much. That ain't a pulley, bro. That's internal screaming off every gear tooth that's barely hanging on. Chakpoon says, hello, it's you that I'm watching all the time. Yeah, man, it's me, bro. Welcome to the stream. Guys, if you are watching, be sure to drop a like. And if you have any questions, drop them down below. If I didn't get to it, just re-ask it, and I'll try to get it to you as quick as possible. If you want to expedite it, you can put a super chat in. It's not necessary. It's just so it could be, you know, expedited to the top, and I'll have to answer it because it's right at my face, you know. What I was going to say, there was another thing I was going to tell you. Oh, also, if you didn't know, this live stream, I do absolutely every single Friday. So next Friday, I'm going to be doing it as well at around 6:30 p.m. in my time. But yeah. Is it me, or does every 1 hour job turn into an all-day thing? LT Ray, that happens so often, bro. It's ridiculous. Like, you know, something that simple literally goes to hours. So sometimes I almost expect it, you know? Like, when I do a job or a work for, like, my friend or for me, they're like, how long do you think it's going to take? Or, oh, you know, this and that. I'm like, I'll usually say, like, I always say, I don't know. I really don't know. I could go crazy. But usually, like, I'll always give myself a good window. So I'll at least, like, if I need to do something on my car, I'll always give myself a good window. You know, I'll always give myself at least, like, let's say, even if it's simple, I'll give myself at least a 2-hour window or a 3-hour window. I always like giving myself a big window, especially if it's a bigger job. If I know it's a big job, I try to make it an all-day thing. I'll make sure I'm free for that entire day, just in case it goes south. You know, so that's just how it is for me. Atomic says, would you recommend a used trans or a rebuilt? The engine is a Key 24A3. Nice. A used transmission, or if you can get it from a reputable rebuilt transmission, yes, I highly recommend getting it, especially if you could get a good price on it. Highly recommend it. But if you're getting a used transmission, only get it if it's from a good, like, place that sells transmissions and it's low mileage. Because you'll get a lot of janky people on Facebook Marketplace that will sell you one and it'll be shot. You know, I had that happen to me on it was a 2003 Honda Civic. And I forgot what it was. I think the synchro or something was completely shot and broken on it. Something was it was broken, so... It was a messed up transmission. I was going to rebuild it, but I didn't have time to rebuild it. Human says, what's your opinion on electric cars? Electric car ownership. I don't like electric cars, and for me, they're cool in general, but I don't like them. Why I don't like them is, guys, I get scared when I'm low on gas and I don't know where the nearest gas station is. You're telling me you're gonna get an electric car and then you see the miles and it says you have 50 miles before you run out of power. Like, that's scary. Like, imagine you're 50 miles out and the nearest charge station is 70 miles away. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that thing with I just don't like that idea. I don't like the idea that you don't have easy, accessible. You can, like, with a gas car, you can easily go to the nearest gas station that's 2 miles away and fill her up and you're on your way. It's quick. With the electric car, you have to make sure you don't go too far. And if you go far, you got to make sure there's electric charge stations on the way. And if it's way too cold outside, like -degree weather, your car might not turn on, or stuff might not be working properly, and on top of that, it's just you're wasting time charging your car when in a gas car, I could fill up in less than 5 minutes and I'm out, so electric cars, this is not my cup of tea, Tips for someone who has never worked in a car and worked in a shop before. Be open to learning new techniques and stuff from new mechanics, other mechanics in your shop. Here, 1 second. Guys, give me 2 minutes. I got to check on my beautiful daughter. 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back, guys. Sorry. My daughter's sleepy, but she doesn't want to go to bed, so trying to put her to bed. Sorry, did I miss any questions? All right, so the question for the shop, for if you're any advice for just starting out of the shop, be open to new techniques and method. Do not be afraid to ask questions in the shop. If you're a new guy, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be scared and think you're dumb or whatever. No. Now, another thing is, if you're in the shop for the first time and you're working, you're a new guy, if you have to borrow a tool 3 times, that means you need to start owning that tool. More than 3 times, guaranteed, you need to buy that tool. Or buy a tool like that tool is what I'm trying to say. Because that means you need it often. So, another thing to live by. Onyx says, I'm only listening if they start talking with Chris Fix here. Or, hey, it's Gearhead Brian. Thanks, Onyx. That's really cool. Jesus said, I was thinking that what puts... Wait, what? Did you ask what? Oh, Jesus Hernandez says, bro, help. I have an '01 Corolla system, 2 lean code, clean math, no intake leaks, no rough idle, injectors, resistance within spec, and UC phone. The code pops up around 2,000 RPM. Wait. System too lean. It could be the catalytic. Oh, wait. Too lean. If you're running too lean, obviously that means you're getting not enough gas. So it could be a good amount of things. Like, there's definitely a lot of things it could be. I'm trying to think of the most obvious. Like, it could be it's fueling. So it could be that, you're your pump's on its way out. It could be that the injectors are on its way out. But usually with the 2000s, I always see leaks in the fuel rails. So check your fuel rails. Make sure it's not leaking any um, fuel, because my sister's had a leaking fuel injector on the third fuel injector was leaking. I swear I almost caught fire. But leaking fuel injectors is a super common thing. Sometimes the catalytic can be just clogged up too, so it's not reading correctly on the O2 sensors. It definitely could be a lot of stuff. Sorry, I missed a lot of comments here. Or comments. Cairo says, hey, quick question. How can I get better on working on cars? I got a job at a dealer and starting as a lube tech and wanted to grow and have more knowledge to do big jobs. Any tips I should do? Highly recommend, if on your own time, you could start working on other people's cars that are not just yours. So you can work on your own cars, start doing stuff to your own cars, do maintenance on your own cars, but start branching out and learning to work on other people's cars in general and stuff like that. The more experience you get under the belt, the more confident and better you'll get at working on cars. Watching YouTube videos will help too. Now, if you don't have any buddy who's willing to let you work on their car, or you don't have your own car or a project car, maybe buy a project car and work on it and do that. What you can do is, I used to go to the junkyard. Some junkyards allow it. My junkyards allow it. All the ones in my state allow it. But go to the junkyard, take stuff apart and put it back together. You know, like if you need to do a strut replacement, go to one with a wheel on, take off the wheel, take out the strut. It's gonna, it's gonna fight you, and then put it back in and install it. Practice. Do stuff you haven't done before. Drop a transmission out of it, replace the clutch. Take out the clutch, put the clutch back in, stuff like that. You want to you want to get a lot of experience under your belt so you can start getting better at working on cars. And you want to watch the mechanics and techs. Watch them. Really dial in and see what they're doing. See what they're doing right. See what they're doing wrong. Ask for advice. Stuff like that. Yo, you're hilarious, who man. He says the Hemi rumble you feel, that's foreplay. The rest is straight pipe action. Onyx says, would you buy cheap tools from AliExpress? Personally, I don't like AliExpress, so no, I wouldn't. But I'll try them out, but I don't know. It's not my thing. EC Fear Factory says, great, very great advice. Never fought. Thanks, man. Appreciate saying I have great advice. Hi, Dad. Bro looks like my advanced auto employee in Ohio. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but that's wild. What's up, dude? Not I'm kidding. That's wild, bro. Big fan, bro. Hey, man. Glad to have you on the stream, Abdul. Pulley plug wire, that'll get her going. Jake says, you probably already got this question, but is it worth becoming an automotive technician or mechanic? If you're set on the idea, yes. Realize it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. We're one of the most underpaid, things out there. We don't get enough, we don't get enough credit for stuff. And we definitely go through a lot of bull crap with stuff rusting and the part not coming out like it should and getting screwed over with book time. But if you can get a good paying shop and it's not a book time job, or if it is a book time job and it's a good environment and work and advisor and this and that, go for it. I'm not one to say is it worth it or not. A lot of people said, oh, get out of the industry while you can. Listen to yourself. Just follow what you think you want to do. Why are you going to go into another industry if you don't like that industry? Get out of that mindset. Do what you want to do. There's definitely a difference between work. I want to work on and be a mechanic auto technician because I love cars and love working on cars. Some people just like and work on cars as a hobby. Some people love and enjoy doing it all the time. Sometimes you need to find out for your own. You need to say, it's worth it if you, like working on your and other people's cars, I just can't say from a price point. Obviously, we don't get to pay the best, so in that aspect, not as much. But that's just, let's see if your question showed up, Aiden. I got you. I'll look. Oh, I see you. Aiden says, any tips on getting a rusted bolt out of a bushing for a lower arm that there's a welded nut on the back, so no air hammer. So no air hammer, no room for a grinder. The saw's off. Thinking I need to dissect it with a die grinder. Ah, yeah. That's what you need to do. I had that happen on my mom's I think it was a Kia. I had to do that one time where I had to make a small incision because the nut broke off of a weld. So I had to cut a little slit in with a Dremel, and then I got a wrench in there or a vice grips, and I held it, and then I zipped it out. But that's the only way I could get it out. So yeah, you're gonna have to do that most likely, man. You're most likely gonna have to do that. Sorry, I'm just trying to read questions. I says, for real, your advice is so good. Just shows you know how to figure it out instead of struggling like I do. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I mean, everyone struggles. I struggle. I just posted a video of, some of the bloopers I did, so don't worry. Yes, Grimy, it's worth it if you enjoy it. Bri looks like the bartender that got me wrecked at the original. Send your frogs outside of Roosevelt Road, PR. That dude sent me back to the pier in a red flyer wagon behind a bicycle. You're hilarious, bro. Have you made way more cash by working on electric cars? No, I haven't made more cash working on electric cars. I mean, I haven't even worked. I think I've only worked on one, and it wasn't like significant enough for it to matter. But no, I personally no. But in certain places, yes, you'll make a lot more. Is this a Key and Peele skit? I'm dead. Same for real. I don't know if my message shows up. Charan. Let's see if I could see your question, Charan. Oh, there you are. W204 C180 1.8. Replace the oil filter housing, turbo feed return pipe, air intake to turbo pipe, and still leaking oil. Do you know where it's leaking from? Can you not, for sure it's leaking oil, or that you're just consuming oil? Like, do you have an idea of where it's coming from? It could be you're not. It could be a bad, gasket or O-ring or something in general. No problem, Jake. Yep, heat works every time. Pit snipe. Is a 2V New Edge a good muscle car to start with? Never drove a manual or rear-wheel drive. I have a 04 Subaru Forester and I want to get a muscle car. Dude, get it. Get it. I love them. I had one. I had the V6 one, but it was manual. That thing was an absolute beast, and it's way quicker than the Forester you got. You'll love it. Trust me. So, yes, get the New Edge Mustang. The 2 valves even faster than the one I had. And the one I had felt super quick. I had like 220 horsepower or torque. Was it torque? No, I had 190 horsepower and 220 torque. Thing was quick for me. That was my first manual rear-wheel drive car. Absolutely awesome muscle car. And we had one come in to stop, the 2-valve V8. That thing's quick as well. That thing was awesome. So yes, by far an awesome muscle car to get. Definitely going to be an awesome manual and rear-wheel drive car, and it's easy to work on for the most part. The headers just can be annoying. Holy Rain said, I just wanted to say thanks for the great videos. And can someone tell me what a Hemi is and why it's preferred? Hemi is just in like, essentially it's like an LS. You know, it's like, oh, do you have a Hemi in it? Oh, do you have an LS in it? Hemi is an engine that Dodge has in a lot of their cars. And the Hemi is like generally the awesomer V8 engine. And Hemi usually, I believe it stands for the shape of the top of the pistons. I think it's a hemispherical top of the piston shape. I forgot. You gotta look at a video for it. I forgot the very nitty gritty. But Hemi essentially is like an LS engine. An LS engine is the ultimate Chevy engine, that V8 engine that makes a ton of horsepower. Every brand generally has an engine that's very sought after. Like the Toyota has their iconic 2JZ. Subaru's EJ20, or what is it, EJ20? Don't quote me on that one. Honda's K series engines or the B series engines. BMWs and I forgot BMWs, but you get what I'm saying. But every brand has a legendary engine, and the Hemi and the LS are that. Eric says, you're sure it's next level. Thanks, man. Smart cars, yeah, they're like a Tinder date. Small, electric, and leave you feel unsafe but curious. Yeah, EJ20. Thanks, man. I got a front-wheel drive Monster 2007 Impala SS. Nice, man. That's cool, Rigo. And transmission going strong. Hell yeah, bro. That's what's up. Those LSs are LSs. SSs are cool. I'm sick of the cussy SUV stuff. I just want my old Ranger back. Stick shift and roll down windows. Yeah, bro, roll down. Guys, a lot of you guys don't know the roll down windows were super cool, especially if someone pulled up next to you and they're like trying to say something. You're like, hold on, and you'd reach over and go like, what do you say? What do you say? Oh, okay, and then you roll it back down. Or it sounds funny, but it feels so nostalgic to be able to roll down your window, and you can roll it quicker than any automatic window, So it's really fun. I love roll down windows. Yeah, roll down windows never broke. Never broke. You'll never hear of anyone saying that your roll down window broke. The handle would break before you'd ever break a roll down window, and I've never even broken a handle on them. What do you feel like catalytic converter cleaners? Have they worked in your experience? Personally, I haven't used them. I know one of my master mechanic uncles has one that he swear buys, but I don't remember what brand it is. Low tech is the best tech. Hell yeah. I hope the Amazon slate trucks are legit. Wait, what do you mean? Hi, Brian. I think you missed mine. Grimy. Let's see if I can find you. If I can't find you, you're going to have to comment again. Oh, I found you, bro. Let's go. Hey, Brian, mechanic to mechanic, do you have experience with ABS module actuators for 2006 Toyota Prius? Junkyard one wasn't any good, and new ones cost $1,500. Those hybrid brake systems are horrible. Do you have experience with the ABS module actuators? Grimy, was it like for sure it's bad, or you're trying to clear the code and the code won't clear? It's not functioning, the ABS. What's going on? And do you have a scanner in general? Because having the a scan tool can also help a lot of remedy some of the situations if you need to clear a code and kind of like dial in and see if it's not reading, the actual module or actuator isn't reading, or if it is reading and a different part of the module is not working. You know what I mean? So do you have a scanner? And in general, how do you know it wasn't working? Car knowledge for beginners. I did not miss it on purpose. I just didn't see it. I don't know where is it? Tell me about the charcoal box in a diesel engine. What about it? What are you referring to? Like, is it like the vapor canister box? That's what you're talking about? Charcoal box in a diesel engine. Yeah, I'm not too experienced with diesel engines. I'm not going to lie to you. Not too familiar with diesel engines, so I'm not the best with that info. But if anybody in the comment section can tell me about the charcoal box and diesel engines, definitely let us know. Robert says, "Hi, huge fan. I have learned extremely so much. Do you like to use a particular engine oil brand?" I like using Mobile One. Mobile One's pretty good. So Mobile One, can't go wrong with that. Mike says, "Do you read YouTube chat?" Yes, I just hey guys, if I didn't answer your question, just drop it again and I'll go ahead and answer it. There's a lot of chats that come in literally every minute, just boom, 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 boom. So your question might get buried. So if you ask the question, go ahead and just re-drop it and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. ZNRG says, "Yo, Brian, happy 4th, brother. Love all the content. Keep killing it." Thanks, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. All right, let me go back to the most recent comments. Grimy, when you do a head gasket, do you have to quote getting heads redone as well? Are you talking about me quoting the customer? Yeah, generally I'll include that in our price. If I'm quoting a customer, I'll quote them with the cylinder heads getting redone, like the cylinder head getting cut. Hi, beautiful. So yeah, thankfully the shops near me don't charge too much, so it's not that bad. But generally, I'll charge them if if I know the cylinder heads work. What I'll do is I'll check. I'll get the what's it called? It's called it's a flat piece of metal that you measure to make sure the cylinder head's not warped. If it's not warped, I just install a head gasket and done deal. Carl says, "Q, is it possible for the IR receiver used by the key fob to go bad?" It's definitely possible. Wait, IR receiver used by the key fob. I'm not gonna lie. IR receiver. Is it possible? Hi. Yeah, it's definitely possible for the receiver to go bad in general, and sometimes just the key fob in general to go bad. But it happens. I remember a lot of the. I'm trying to remember what it was. I remember if it was a BMW or a Nissan, I had an issue with one of the actual receiver, like the module to it, actually going bad. Mike, hi. How's it going, Mike? How's it going, bro? Who went to girl? If I'm pulling your. Yo, what? You're hilarious. Infrared. Oh yeah. That'll for sure go bad. That's what happened in I don't know why I didn't know. Sorry, I'm bad. But yes, it's definitely possible. I had to happen in I believe it was a Nissan. I don't think it was a. I don't know what car it was on. But I remember it wasn't even a customer's car. I remember it was one of my friend's cars, and I was trying to figure out what the heck was going on with it. Ramsey says, "I like your content, Brian. Thank you. Currently trying to fix my 2010 5.3 with a lifter nut rock. Pray for me." I got you, man. Prayer sent to you from me and the car gods. Avi 95 Trans Am. If I only drive it 300 miles a year, do I need an oil change yearly? Yes, still change out the oil because it's just it's sitting there for way too long. So yes, just do an oil change every year at least. Do an oil change. Hassan, you missed my question, Brian, or I missed your answer. Hassan, what is your question? Oh, Hassan, do you have your own shop? How did you start your mechanic journey? No, I don't have my own personal shop. I answered that question earlier in the stream. Here, 1 second, guys. Come here, honey. Come here. Let's go. All right, give me 2 minutes, guys. It's 2 minutes. One more minute. One more minute. Come here. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. Woo. But yeah, I entered that earlier in the stream, Hassan. I started my mechanical journey through pretty much having starting out at 15, 16 years old as a just working on a project car I had with my dad. I learned the ropes. I was poor. I didn't have money to send into mechanics, so I had to make do with what I had. I started that way. I started as an apprentice. I started as an automotive technician, worked my way up to a mechanic. I went to school for it as well for a couple years. I became a regular mechanic. I went to a bunch of different shops. I was a mobile mechanic. I have a lot of different avenues, All right, sorry I got cut off. What happened? Robert Lopez. What did you get cut off with? Mike said, should I reply at a Jiffy Lube? No, in my opinion. I don't know. Jiffy Lube's not the way to start. I'd say start at even a Pep Boys. A Pep Boys, a Pep Boys, Midas, anywhere there, a lube tech, anywhere you can be a lube tech except Jiffy Lube. Midas, I don't know if I said Midas, but I wouldn't. I hated Jiffy Lube. I was about to be a automotive, I don't know, a lube tech at Jiffy Lube just to start out. Oh my God, no. I just couldn't. I don't know. I'd rather not. My Miata 1991, don't start unless, wait, what? Don't start unless I start out with a start booster. Yeah, you need a new battery, Stefan. Yeah, you need a new battery, unfortunately. So yeah, you're gonna need a new battery most likely. Or you need a recharge for your battery. Or, yeah, that's most likely, yeah. Oh, shit, we got Good Enough Motorsports. Want to hit up a track day eventually? You already know Good Enough Motorsport. We're doing a track day for show. I'm down, man. Hell yeah. No way he lives. Brian here in Yakfison says, Brian here in my area, all the dealerships would train you to change oil. It's a good place to start. No. I'm saying go for it. You can be like, that's what I'm saying by lube tech. Lube tech, start, you can be a lube tech. I'm just saying to not do Jiffy Lube, I have a lot of the shops by me the Jiffy Lubes are a piece of crap, they're very bad practice people that take advantage and mess up people's cars, and it's not a good learning ground to learn from. Over here in Jiffy Lubes, they don't know what they're doing. That's why I think you should start out as like a Pep Boys or a Midas or a better reputable place in Jiffy Lube. A lot of the places over here are just dog water. Sorry, let me make sure I didn't. All right, sorry, I'm just reading on the comment. Sorry, I'm just reading all the comments still, guys. Ramsey says, Brian, what do you drive? What would you recommend besides Toyota? I drive a 2025 Honda Civic Type R. What would I recommend besides Toyota? Mazdas are really good. I like Mazdas. Yeah, I like Mazdas. If you can get one above 2010, that'd be nice. The 2011, oh no, I think it's the 2012s and up. Like the 2013 Mazda 3 is an awesome car. Absolutely love it. Even the 2010s, 2009s are good cars as well. So yeah, love the Mazda 3s. Mazda 6s are they're okay, but Mazda 3s are where they're at. Honda, I like them. You just gotta be careful getting a secondhand one because sometimes they won't do preventative maintenance, and a lot of stuff will go downhill on like the Honda Civics for their head gaskets and stuff. I'd recommend Honda if they haven't been abused. Yeah, if they have a good clean history, get a Honda Civic. You know, easy peasy. I'm trying to think of another brand you can get off the top of my head. But I'm trying to think of another brand. Suzuki's pretty good. They're pretty reliable, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I like Suzuki's. Dang, I'm trying to think of another one other than Honda. Honestly, the Honda Accords are usual tanks. They're a lot more of a tank than the Civics are. Honda Odysseys are good too. They're absolute tanks. Yeah, those are generally some cars. Ramsey says, everyone liked the video. Brian has a, what? A cam, I don't, yeah. Yeah, guys, everyone liked the video. If you are watching the live stream, be sure to drop a like if you are enjoying it. If you have a question, be sure to drop it. If I didn't get to your question, I might have not seen it because right now I'm literally digging into the chat to find people's comments, you know, because I'm trying not to miss it. So just drop it again. You know, I'm not ignoring you on purpose. You know, sometimes I just can't see it. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. No, Jiffy dealers is where a lot of guys want to be anyway. These are places where you see potential and help. Yes, I agree, Yak. Watto says, you helped me a lot with my E500. Lots of great tips with areas I couldn't reach or bolts not giving in. Thanks, man. No problem. What's up, Garrett Brian? Thanks for liking and replying to my comment. No problem, man. Good enough Motorsport says, how's the LFI on my FL5 treating you? Really good, man. I'm loving it as a daily. I love the Type R. It's super, you know, it's super quick. It's you know, it looks beautiful, and it's a perfect daily for me and my daughter. You know, I could pick her up easily. I could take the fiance out, you know, easy. We can go to the beach easily, get stuff from the post office, like big packages, and move stuff. I love it. I absolutely love the car. So perfect daily. It's been treating me really good. What tool would you recommend to help me? Oh God, this guy. Ah, you're hilarious. Yeah, Sam Thomas. Over here, there's a lot of bad employees. Brian's babies are in the fun age. At about 8 or 9, they learn to hate. Yeah, you're right. Hell yeah, Type R. Thanks, man. No, I can't, Ken. Okay. Thank you for your insight on the Mazdas. No problem, man. Beamers are easy to work on and maintain. I love Beamers. Beamers are genuinely, they are easy to work on. But they start to become a pain in the ass when it's wiring, because they're typically a continuous wiring harness. Especially in Mini Coopers. I hate Mini Coopers. But I love working on BMWs. There might be one random part that might be in a stupid, awkward location. But most of what BMW does, they kind of think a little bit more about the mechanic. So it's pretty cool. Do I like Chevy trucks? You know, they're not the worst. The S10s are pretty cool. I like some of the old Silverados from the 90s. Suzuki still makes cars. I don't know if they still make cars, but Subaru can kind of be still reliable, but and Mitsubishi it just depends because a lot of transmissions go to shit. So, but I still love Mitsubishi Lancers. All right, let me make sure I didn't. Which car makes are the most friendly and least mechanic friendly? So Mr. Keddies, the most mechanically friendly car is Toyota, Honda, Mitsubishi, Mazda can be pretty friendly. Suzuki can be friendly. Honda is friendly, with which is Kia as well technically. Dodge is okay. They can be annoying sometimes, Dodge, but Dodge isn't the worst. Jeep can sometimes be pretty decent when they have 4 cylinders. When it gets to their V6 engines, are a bit of a bitch. What's another one? Trying to think of another brand. But yeah, that's just off the top of my head. The worst ones are Audi, Volkswagen, and Mercedes. Dude, there's over 70 people in here. No worries, bro. Appreciate it, man. What year eclipse should I look for? 1999, bro. Best year. Oh, thanks, Ramsey. Yeah, everyone be sure to drop a like on the video, guys. If you are enjoying the stream or if you're not enjoying the stream, drop a like. Robert Lopez says, thanks, Brian. You're a cool dude. Most people would not bother to answer questions. Bro, of course. Guys, I love answering all your questions. And when it comes to YouTube, YouTube Reels and YouTube video, as often as I have time, I try to answer you guys' comments. I genuinely love helping you guys out and love answering your guys' comments whenever I get the given chance. But yeah, no problem, man. How important is torquing things down in the transmission? Very important. Very important. But what are we talking about for the transmission? Are you rebuilding on transmission? Are you talking about the clutch? Or what are you talking about when it comes to transmission? I don't know. Carson, honestly, I don't know much about the HRV. I know a lot of people like it, though. Okay. Best gen Tacoma. Honestly, I don't have too much experience with Tacomas. Honestly, you can't go bad with a Tacoma. The newer Tacomas are cool, too. The WDA says, love your videos, bro. Thanks, man. Thanks. Appreciate you. Wow, cool of you to do a live, bro. No problem, Nick. I love doing live. Every single Friday, I do a live stream. Every single Friday. And it's usually at 6:30 p.m. But yeah, so yeah, no problem, no problem. Is it easy to change the transmission without a left? Is it possible to do on jack stands? Robert Lopez. Yes, it is. Dude, I did a transmission swap on a in a parking lot. Literally in a parking lot with just a jack, not even a transmission jack. I highly would recommend you going to Harbor Freight and buying a $100 transmission jack. Because it's easy, like sometimes you can like drop that transmission if you're not careful. But I'd highly recommend you buying a transmission jack or buying a used one or even renting one. And yes, you could do it just on jack stands. You don't need a lift. You could do it. I've done it in a parking lot. You know, I've done plenty in a parking lot. All right, sorry, there's a lot of comments going in. I'm trying to read all of them at the same time. Okay, what else is my 2005 E500 just hit 264K. And transmission shifts like butter, engine still quiet. Typical regular maintenance. Nice, man. That's awesome. Let's see. Range Rovers are the most reliable. I don't care what anybody says. I can't say anything about that inquiry. I don't like Range Rovers like that. But if it is for you, that's awesome, man. I'm not saying they're horrible for you, but... Bro, have you seen those Yeti spoon videos, cursed AI stuff? But so relatable. Literally, man. Can you recommend a way to find prices for labor if I'm a weekend mechanic? So what I would recommend is just looking online for book time. Look for the book time labor for the job. you could also go on use ChatGPT and be like, hey, what's the usual book time for this? And they'll say probably 2 hours of book time. Now 2 hours, let's say every hour I charge $50. You know, if it's only a 2 hour job, it's $100. Then boom, you know. You could also even ask ChatGPT and be like, hey, what would me being a weekend mechanic, whatever, how much should I charge this person? You know, I'm doing this job. It's not too hard on it, but it's not too easy. How much do you think I should charge? And ChatGPT will literally help you out. Let's see. Nick Gibson says, gaming. I'm too poor to have a project these days. Thank you. I will, Ray says, thank you. I will have to try some of that stuff. Help me. Honestly, lights won't stay off. Wait, okay. Christian Flores, what lights won't turn off? Like, are you talking about the lights on the interior, the lights on the tail lights, the lights on the headlights? Like, be more specific so I can help you. 1996 Chevy S10 says, it's so cool to see you on live. Just pulled T5 from an S10. How much input chat play is too much? Bro, if it's just like clunking, like if it's really like just way too like, I don't know, it's just hard to say. You don't want it to be way too loose where it's like literally like clunk, clunk, clunk. Like you just need very, very little. You want as little play as possible. And too much is usually when you can hear an audible like clunk, you know? Garrett Bryan having 19. Oh, wait. As soon as I. Okay, let me answer you, Dylan. Garrett Bryan, I have a 99 Dodge Ram van with a 4-speed transmission. It has a P0740 TCC circuit malfunction. Would you have any advice? Personally, I've never messed with the 99 Ram Dodge Rams with a 4-speed transmission. Do you have a scanner? Do you have a scanner to plug in and actually look into the like a genuine? Do you have a genuine scanner so you can actually test the modules for that transmission and see what's going on? Because sometimes you could actually test and see what's going on with it. What's the worst car you've ever worked on? Audi. I freaking hate Audis, and that was Audi Q6. I hate those things. Favorite icon tool? I'd say the split beam torque wrench, or the long extended box end wrench with the ratcheting size. Those are really cool. Yeah, I definitely would yak this guy. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know Napa has an estimator. That's dope. Don Yan, if my timing belt has 200K on it, should I change it? Yes, change your timing belt. It's way past due. Definitely change the timing belt. You should for sure change it. Yeah, Asunder, I used to do that as well. He said I also used to call local shops and ask for labor rates. Replace pin. Hold on. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I charge 60% of my local shops. Yeah, that's pretty much what I would do. Like if I call a shop and they're like, "Hey, we're charging 500 for the labor," I'd be like, "Okay, I'm gonna charge this guy." You know, I'm trying to think what job it is, but I'll charge significantly less. Like let's say 200 or 250 or 220, whatever it is. Really love the shorts too, bro. By the way, thanks, Nick Gibson. Appreciate it. I use ChatGPT to fix my P0300. God, ChatGPT really helps with a lot of issues that you may have. So you should definitely consider ChatGPT because it generally helps give you a lot of things to think about. And I'll even suggest you websites to go to. Brock says, how are you doing, bro? Doing great, man. God bless you too, bro. Aurelius Pro app, you get better prices, and you on the desktop site, they provide labor hours. That's really cool. How do I inspect the drive belts on vehicles? So you just like take it, you look at the spline side and make sure there's no cracks on the actual splines on it. All right, let me make sure let me check the most recent live chat stuff. All right, Hassan says, what do you look for exactly, Nick? Wait, what? Oh, I think you're applying to somebody else, Hassan. What flashlights do you use the most? Says Dusty Fingers. I use Olight lights a lot. But my favorite light, it's a headlamp. Oh, I think I actually have it here. One second. Be right back. Okay. So I have a lot of lights I use. I use Olight all the time. But the best headlamp, in my opinion, is this right here. This is a Coast headlamp. It's like 40 bucks on Walmart. But this thing's so awesome because it's rechargeable USB-C right here. And what's cool about it is it has multiple different features, so you could turn it on. And it has a dial right here, so you could adjust how bright you want it. You could get it really bright, or you can do it lower. You also have a like a floodlight, and you also have a focus light. So it's really cool. It also does like red and green, but it's really cool headlamp, and it has adjustable pivot right here. But I use this one all the time. Guys, I rarely ever charge this thing, and this thing has a really strong battery. It's honestly my favorite headlamp, and I've used headlamps from Streamlight. I've used headlamps from, where else? From Olight. But this is my favorite headlamp. It's from Coast. I got it from Walmart for like 40 bucks. Really awesome headlamp, in my opinion. ChatGPT for invoices, labor hours, and some diagnostic, yes. Nick Gibson says the cracks Brian mentioned, brother, or anything fraying. Oh, yeah, anything fraying or sticking out. Yes, I agree. Okay, Fat Boy says, I'm trying to understand what's the one tool that just makes you think, man, I just wasted money on this. Honestly, the one tool that did that, and to this day, I'll still say it. A lot of people say, no, it's a cool tool. I don't like it. It's I made a video on it. It's a dual side Harbor Freight ratchet. It has a 3/8 on one end and a 1/4 drive on the other, and it's like this big. Now, it's very thin. It can get into very tight places. That's cool. But that thing, like, it's so clunky. The gearing is so, like, click, 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 click. And it's so, like, impractical when it comes to that, like how notchy it is. It's just annoying, in my opinion. So when I bought it, I was like, this is so cool. This is the coolest tool. I'm going to make a video on it. And then I got to using it, trying to use it on the daily, and I hated it. It was such a waste of money, you know. So that was one of the tools I absolutely hate. Robert Lopez, you have one of those? A lot of people have the long version of them, and they love it. But for me, I don't know. I think I'm so accustomed to, like, ratchets that have, like, 80 teeth, 90 teeth, 120 teeth, that they're so nice and fine, and the back drag is not that aggressive. I hate very aggressive back drag where you can't get it, like, pivot into a nice, spot that you need to get into. Hey, I'm glad you're a big fan, Floring. Okay, Norlia says, I asked for info a bit in the chat about inner tie rod replacement on a 05 R53 Mini Cooper, particularly the best way to rough in alignment to get it to a shop for a proper toe alignment. So what I like to do, there's two things I like to do. So I'll get a paint marker, and before I even touch anything, I'll mark it on the, I'll mark the nut on the outside or whatever. Then I'll break it loose, and then I'll break the outer tie rod in. Wait, is it for the inner or outer? Hold on. Let me make sure it's an inner or outer. Hold on, your comment got buried. Where'd you go? Oh crap! Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Dang it! Hold on, your comment got buried again. Ah, it's inner tie rod. Dang it, that's annoying. So what I'll do is, once you remove the outer tie rod, mark the line that you have on that nut with a paint, and then what I'll do is, I'm trying to remember. I'll measure the distance with a tape measure as well to make sure it's even on this side and even on the other side, and then I'll Oh no, yeah, that is what I did. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll mark it with a marker on each sides of that nut, and then to double check it, I'll get a tape measure, measure how much of a distance from the nut to the tie rod, whatever, and then I'll remove it, take it off, and then when I put the new one in, I'll put those exact measurements in, and then I'm good to go, and that's a good eyeball, that's what I do. Dusty Finger says, what else would you do if you stopped wrenching? If I didn't wrench, I would be racing. I love driving cars. So if I stopped wrenching, I'd be racing. If I didn't do racing, I'd be tuning. If I didn't do tuning, I don't know what else I would do, honestly. I don't know. I'm just more of a problem-solving guy, too. I like solving problems, so. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'd be doing. Finer teeth ratchets all day. Yes, bro. So Hi says, hey, Brian, can you give me top 3 cars that are worth engineering aftermarket parts support in the current day? What? Can you give me top 3 cars that are worth engineering aftermarket support for in current day? Are you saying what cars are worth engineering parts for? Or making aftermarket parts for? I mean, obviously, like, the new Mazda Miatas, the, Honda Civic SIs, Type Rs, if you're looking older cars, obviously the Honda Civics of that old gen, 350Zs, 370Zs, the Mazda Speed Freeze, trying to think of another car. The BRZs, oh my god, the BRZ, FRS, GT86, perfect cars to do that. Brian, Grimy Goblin says, Brian, I do have a major question that always bothers me. In automotive, I have rarely used SAE, but I have lots of SAE taking up space in my toolbox. So what's the question? Like, are you saying, like, what should you do? Should you throw it out? This and that? Honestly, I rarely, ever, never. In the past few years, I've never used SAE. You could just have it in back storage or something. Make it non-accessible, and whatever it's taking up, just, you know what I mean? Like, I just really don't use SAE like that. So I'm here. I'm right there with you, man. I don't even have it in my main toolbox. I literally don't work on anything that has SAE like that. Robert Lopez, you said, do you have to use a stubby impact gun? Not sure if I need one. For what? What are you talking about? I don't know if I missed what you said. I don't know if you're talking to me, though. All right, let me catch up to all the stuff that you currently have. XLZO. Do I have a Cash App? Sure. But, Super Chat's probably the best thing right now, because a lot of people be scamazamming on Cash App, Electric impact guns are pretty dang powerful these days. Yes, you're right. Play any sports? Honestly, Andres, I don't really play sports like that. I run. I usually go on runs, like big 3-mile runs and stuff like that. I challenge myself with how many miles I can run. But yeah, that's usually what I did. Did you go to tech school? Yes, I went to tech school. I went to a place called Lincoln College of Technology, LTI. Yeah, I love that school. It was so fun. Guys, I used to do crazy stuff with my friends back then. On break, bro, we would drag race, drag race in the parking lot and drift when it snowed outside and go street racing. Do car shows. It was so dope on breaks, guys. Um Q got buried. Replace a tie rod end and the ball joint hole is 4 millimeters. Wait, hold on. Q got buried. Replaced a tie rod end and the ball joint hole is like 4 millimeters bigger than the ball. Steering is still loose. And metal when the metal with the best thing and sure help. Bruce Almighty, I think what you should do, you probably went with a non-OEM one. You should just go ahead and bite the bullet and get an OEM one. What happens with a lot of aftermarket ones, they don't fit properly into where they need to go. So I highly recommend you just spending the extra money and just getting the OEM part. Yeah, Booney, I probably agree with you there. I don't work at a diesel truck shop, so that's probably why you always use SAE. But yeah, I definitely agreed with you there, most likely. Bird says, thanks for the good tips for working on cars and making it easy for people to work on their own cars. No problem, man. Hell yeah, man. Andrea says, what you got going on with the fourth? Nothing really. I spent the earlier day with my fiance, spent the day with some of my family, and yeah, just put my daughter to bed. I think she's asleep. I think she's asleep finally. So, yeah. Been looking. Hopefully, you had a good 4th of July for you too, Andreas. Appreciate you asking, bro. I've been looking at electric nail guns too, but they're pretty pricey. But no noise, compressors, and houses. Yeah, I know. They're really annoying and loud. Brian, what's the most reliable Pathfinder, Kia Sorento, or Mazda MX-9? I say the MX-9 is probably one of the best ones. Kia Sorento, I mean, I don't have experience with any of them, but I'd rather go with the MX-9, honestly. What do you recommend for removing a stripped coolant drain plug screw? I'd recommend vice grips, or I think they're called Cobra pliers. What car would you build to race? If I had unlimited money, I don't know. I think in general, I want to build a car that matches me. So I'll build, right now, obviously I have the Type R. The Type R would be cool. It depends on what type of racing. If we're doing track, I do a Type R. If we're doing drag, I do, trying to think of a good car to drag. I do an all-wheel drive car if we're doing drag. So like an Evo, I do an Evo in the Evo 8 or 9. That would be cool. Something all-wheel drive. Trying to think of another all-wheel drive cool car. Definitely an Evo 8 or Evo 9. That would be cool. Skyline, Nissan Skyline GTR. Oof, awesome car. But that's the car I build to race. Oh, sorry, XLGL. I didn't see. I just saw right now. What truck do you recommend for a service vehicle? Honestly, you can't go wrong with. I'm trying to figure out Okay, big question is how old and how new can you go? How old of the vehicle do you want to go and how new? And then what's your budget? A lot of people have a lot of good luck with the Chevy Silverados. I'd recommend those over the F-150s in my opinion. Those make really good work trucks. My dad used to have Silverados all the time as work trucks, and they were absolute tanks. They never let him down. And he carried a lot of freaking tools. He was a painter. He carried everything. He's a mobile painter. Absolute tank. So I highly recommend that. Or what's your dream car build? My dream car build is a 1999 Nissan Skyline GTR in Bayside Blue. Beautiful car. Love it. Details are nice. Can't go wrong there for a drag car. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, bro. Station all the way. Station wagon all the way. Hell yeah. Great tips on your short videos. Thanks, man. W Mans loves the shorts, bro. Keep growing up. Thanks, Andreas. Appreciate it, man. XLZO. Okay, there you are. Thanks, Brian. 2020 to 2025. Something reliable, leaning towards Chevrolet. Yeah, I'd go Chevrolet. A lot of their newer stuff's pretty cool. I'd recommend them. Honestly, though, I'm usually not a Ford guy. Some of the newer Fords are pretty cool, too. They look pretty dope. But I'd highly recommend actually going Chevy. In this instant, I'd say go Chevy. But yeah. But thanks again for Super Chat, bro. I really appreciate you, man. How to replace a transmission? That's pretty hefty question. Are we talking about front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive car? It's kind of a loaded question, you know. It's a lot of yeah. Yeah, what? Is it manual or transmission? Is it a manual transmission or an automatic transmission? I don't know if I four-wheel drive. But is it transit? Is it auto or manual? Auto, okay. Four-wheel drive. What is it? Maybe you can give me a better idea. What is it? What kind of car? What kind of car is it? Transit. I'm out of time says I am retired and you are teaching others what I had to learn without the inlet. Great tips. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Ram 2500. I haven't done that personally, but genuinely, it's a truck, so this is how it goes. Thankfully, they're not that complex, but they can be a little bit annoying. So what you got to realize, hold on. Let me draw this out for you. Guys, I am a wonderful illustrator. Okay, so I got this. Okay. This is just for you, buddy. Okay, so engine, transmission, and then we're gonna have like so there's a transmission, there's gonna be probably a transfer case here. And then you're gonna have the drive axle. So there's a drive axle. And then you might have a drive axle going to the front, right? Oh crap, my pen stopped working. Dang it. Okay, it started working. Okay, so there's a transmission, T, E, and then a transfer case, T, C. And then this is the drive line. So D. Okay, look. So this is your engine. This is your transmission. This is the transfer case. And this is the drive line. And the drive line connects from the transfer case. Hold on. Like that. Okay, so basically you're going to have to disconnect from here. So you got to disconnect all the bolts going to that guy. And then once you disconnect these bolts, okay, you're going to loosen them. You're not going to loosen them all the way. And then this is a drive line. So the first mission is get the car on all 4 jack stands. And you're going to disconnect your the drive shafts going to the back and to the front. Once you do that, now this is going to be free flowing, right? So that's when you support this with a jack, the transmission, support it, loosen the rest of the bolts, and then you can get the transmission out of there. So it's a lot, it's a lot, but I at least tried to explain it. But yeah. Hope that helped. Hope it helps. Guys, if you are in the live stream, be sure to drop a like. And if you have any questions, be sure to drop them. If I didn't answer your questions, feel free to ask it again. I'm more than happy to answer it. I just might have not seen it. No problem, Transit. I'm glad it helped. All right, let me see. Would you recommend people becoming mechanics in 2025? Yeah, OZ mechanic, yes. If they genuinely want to work on cars and they're okay with working on other people's cars, yes, I only recommend it to people who are serious about it and want to do it. You just gotta really want it. It might not be worth it money wise, if you really, 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 really like it might not work for your budget, but I highly recommend being a mechanic. It's, it could be a B word to do, but it's really fun. The tip of the pen gotta point down or ink don't work. Yeah, I got it to work. Don't worry, bro. Good talking to you. Sorry, I'm just reading all the comments, guys. Louise says, Brian, how can I learn on how to work on cars? Three different methods. First method, YouTube, obviously. Just every test that you get into, if you're doing the clutch for the first time, spark plugs, whatever, look at a bunch of YouTube videos of the exact car and then go into it. Another thing you could do is go to the junkyard, take stuff apart, put it back together, repeat on different cars. That'll gain your stamina really quick, just taking stuff apart and putting it back together at the junkyard. Number 3, working on your own car or getting a project car that you could work on, replacing maintenance items on a car that you don't need as a daily. Stuff like that can really help you. And then, of course, becoming an apprentice can help as well. What is a tip from you that you like to share? Wait, what do you mean? What is a tip from you that you'd like to share? Not sure what you meant by that. Yeah, it's easy to develop emotional attachment to your car. That's true. I've never done my brakes before. Really? That's crazy. Hey, not more time to start now. Much love. I hope you're living well, brother. Thanks, man. I hope you're living well too. May I ask why you hate the business? Oh no, you're talking to Yuck. Joseph says I have a classic vehicle, and it started a small electrical fire. Do you have any suggestions on harnesses to buy? Like places to buy harnesses? I don't think I have any for sure places to buy harnesses from. Yeah, I don't have a place to really buy harnesses from. Hey, but if you want, message me on Instagram, and I'll try to get back to you on that, because I have a friend who has some classic cars. He has a Cuda, really beautiful, cool car, and I think he has a I forgot what else he has. But yeah, message me on Instagram at Gearhead Brian. I have a check mark next to my name, or on Facebook. My Facebook is Gearhead Brian's Auto Hub. Message me on Facebook or Instagram, and then tell me, hey Brian, I'm the guy from the live stream. Talk about the burnt up harness, and I'll help you locate one, because my friend has classic cars, and he also knows people in the classic car industry. Luis says, thanks, bro. Huge fan of your work. Thanks, bro. Appreciate me, man. Appreciate you, and no problem, bro. I'm happy to help. Hope it helped. Okay. Oh, wow, that's cool. So 7 Floors No More Q says, so I worked on regular vehicles for a few years, went to school for it, but now work on semi-trucks. Never had schooling for it, and I promise heavy trucks are a walk in the park compared to regular. That's so cool. I'll definitely have to work on some heavy trucks, just semi-trucks and stuff like that, because that sounds like fun, then. My God. Sorry, I'm just looking at all the comments. Sorry, guys, if I haven't answered your question, again, they're just getting buried. Best aftermarket suspension brand is Moog. Okay. I don't even work on cars, and your videos are still super helpful. I appreciate your videos. No problem, man. No problem. That's so dope. I'm glad you think it's helpful, man. Carl says, invest in good tools. Cheap tools will only let you down when you need them most. Buy once, cry once. Yes, it's always half and half. You can definitely get tools that are quality but affordable, you know. So there are some good tools that are cheap, you know, more in the affordable sense, that are worth it. But yeah, as Carl said, I wouldn't cheap out like badly and get really crap stuff because, like you said, you'll be in mid job and then break it. So I highly do recommend quality tools. If you're just starting out and you can't like fork up the money, then build up to it. Get the crappy tool now, save up some money, and then get the good tool or get the median tool. You know, so. How reliable? Transit says, "Do I know Chris Fix?" No, not personally. I know Chris Fix in general. I've seen his videos. I've met him in person. You know, but we're not like acquaintances, like best friends. Yeah, watch me and him are gonna definitely meet someday and most likely collab. So. Yes, I know Chris Fix, bro. Have you ever attended? Oh, that's really cool. No, honestly, I haven't done too much programming. That's really cool. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments, guys. Lemaire, do you have is the car filled with coolant? Like, is it up to the level of coolant? I had to hard restart my ECM, but it doesn't stay out of for long. Do you have a scanner that maybe you can like a big scanner that you can actually go into there and see if you're getting signal from the ECM to other different computers in general, you know? Because there could be a lot of stuff going on. It could be something simple. It could be something quite the opposite, you know? Yeah, used tools are cool, man. I highly agree. Corn says, "Hey Brian, random question, but I've just been curious. What is your ethnicity? Where are you from? I cannot guess your accent." So I don't have an accent. I think it's just a lisp or whatever. But I am Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican, so Dominican Republic. So yeah. But I'm in Illinois. I'm in Illinois. Yeah. So nothing crazy, just Puerto Rican and Dominican. That's all it is. I don't know who Ty Lopez is. Now I gotta look him up later. Now you got me wanting to look stuff up, bro. Hold on. I'm writing that down. Okay. Let's see all the other questions. I didn't know Chris Fax had a. Oh yeah, he does have a Ford Ranger. I recommend. Thanks, buddy. I might buy my neighbor's. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. My bad. Andreas, off the top of my head, I don't know the code. Can you just type in the code, like explain the code? I think I need to replace fuel injectors because you could always test out the fuel injectors too. There's plenty of videos on how to test them out. But just explain the code for me because sometimes I don't know the code off the top of my head. Yes, Robert Lopez. I've worked on cars in negative degree weather. Oh my God. One time I had to work in my personal car in negative, I think 10 degree weather. Maybe even worse. It was bad. It was negative 10 or negative 5. I forgot what it was. It was really bad. I think it was negative 10 or negative 5, but the wind chill made it negative 20 or something. It was ridiculous. The thermostat blew. It was, or the hose blew or something off of the radiator. Something happened, and I had to make it happen because I had to get to work. Because I had to pick up my daughter, and I had to get to work the next day. So I had to work in -degree weather. Here, 1 second. Okay, sorry. I heard a big boom, but it was from the fireworks outside. Okay. Robert Lopez. Oh, man. No problem, bro. No problem, bro. Boricua. Let's go, Carl. Illinois Rican. Let's go, bro. Hell yeah, man. Mikey says, what's your dream/favorite car? Dream car is a 1999 Nissan Skyline GTR in Bayside Blue. Now, other cars that I want to get, I want to get a Turbo S, one of the newer Turbo S's. GT3 RSs are cool, but the Turbo S would be so cool because it'd be a better daily. It'd be fun to drive. My daughter can be in the back seat, no problem. So the Turbo S is pretty cool too. Very cool, brother. I am also Puerto Rican. That's why I was going to guess. Funny thing, I have a stutter. No way, Corn. That's crazy, bro. Look, you're Puerto Rican, bro. Look at this tattoo. Hold on. If you are Puerto Rican, you know this tattoo. So if you guys don't know, hold on. If you guys don't know, this is the symbol for the coquille. There's a Tejano symbol. Now, this entire tattoo is essentially the shape of Puerto Rico. There's a sun, there's some leaves. You know what's funny? This is faded. Why? It's because of sun damage. I got so much sun damage from working outside that it faded the entire tattoo. So yeah, but thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Did I drop my pen? My pen. Oh shit. Okay, I'm back. Would you daily drive an IB7? I don't even know what an IB7 is. Troy says, hey, I didn't know you go live, man. I got to say, a lot of your quick tips are awesome, man, and you do a good job. From time to time, I disagree with some things, but most of them are amazing. You go, man. Appreciate it, bro. Hell yeah. Yeah, bro, I go live every single Friday. Every single Friday I go live. Now, this specific Friday, I went on live longer than I usually do. Usually, I live stream at 6:30, and I try to stay on for an hour and 30. However, this Friday I've been able to go on longer. I started 7 p.m. and it's 10 p.m. now. So I've been live for about almost 3 hours. Do you work in DuPage? Sheesh, that's crazy. No, I don't work in DuPage, but a long time ago I used to live over there. Dusty Fingers, you in Illinois? That's crazy, man. Go get that tat freshened up, B. You'll love it. I know. I gotta get it freshened up and take care of it too. Yeah. I want to get some more. I want to get one more tattoo of my daughter's name on my arm. Thanks, Travis, for saying good tips. I live near Wheaton Low. That's crazy, man. I used to go to school technically around there. I know some people over there. I remember. Oh, that's crazy. Oh man, that's wild, man. How old are you, bro? You might have gone to high school with me. That's crazy. That's one tat you won't regret. Hell nah, I won't ever, dude. I enjoy your tour reviews. Thanks, Robert. That's awesome. I love posting tour reviews, too. A lot of people love it. A lot of people are like, man, post more tip videos. I try to do a balance of all of them. I try to do as many trick videos as I can. Obviously, there's only a certain amount. Now I'm doing more how-to, like replacement videos. And then I'm doing more, tool review videos, too. Small world after all, literally. Number one mechanic for real. Thanks, bro. Dusty Fingers, if you want, just message me on Instagram, bro. Directly. All right, guys. If you had any questions that you haven't asked or that you've asked but haven't been answered, feel free to shoot me one down below in the comment. I'm 35, but I went to West Chicago High School near Winfield. Oh, that's crazy, man. That's dope. Small world, bro. My 1999 town car has pushed back when braking. I replaced the brakes already, and the ABS light comes on time to time. Any tips? Like the ABS light specifically, or the wait, what? 95? Damn, that's of course it was 95. If it's a lot of pushback, it could be by pushback it's hard to push down, or like some. I'd say definitely check out the brake master cylinder. A lot of people neglect those, never get them replaced, and you'll have a shitty brake pedal. So definitely that. Sometimes the booster goes bad, but usually not the booster. It's usually the master cylinder. Sometimes a booster, but most likely the master cylinder. But also get a bigger. Oh, you don't. Damn, it's 95, so you can't get a proper scanner on there. I'd check out your ABS pump and see what's going on with that. But it's kind of hard to diagnose because you don't have a proper scanner for it. Yak Fitness says, okay, guys. B has 127 likes. Hit that button if you haven't already. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, guys. Hit that like button if you are enjoying the stream and are in the stream. But yeah, guys, drop a like. Have any questions, drop them down below, and also answer the poll. Jump apart from a wire to scan it. Yeah, I forgot about that trick, Ben. I used to do that on my 1988. All right, guys, so I'm going to answer the poll. Check the poll. So the poll says, what do you like to do for fun? So 53% of you guys said that you work on your car/project car. Gaming is 25%. Cruising is 11%. And drinking a cold one with the boys is 10%. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like doing all the above. Which truck brand is the best for towing? Opinion. I don't know. I'm not really a truck person. Can't go wrong with Chevy, I guess, Brother, I'm having a car issue where I brake and I hear a loud, like grinding noise on my passenger side rear axle. Not sure what it is. Loud, like grounding noise. Check your brake pads or brake shoes. It could be down to the bare metal, or it could be the hardware got bent is hitting the rotor. Why are you towing that? Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good idea for surveys. Thanks, man. Working on cruising my racing lawnmower are my favorite things to do. Max Omega says, I'm starting off as a express tech for Honda. What advice would you give to me or anyone starting out in the dealership service center? Starting off as an express tech. Okay, so be able to adapt quick, show that you have great work ethic, and learn from others, and talk with the mechanics if you ever can. If you're trying to move up to a regular mechanic, just have a very good work ethic. Don't be late. Be on time. Be friendly. And then learn. Be an open book. Even when it comes to being a lube tech, oil tech. Be willing to learn from the techs around you, from older techs, from other techs. Be a sponge. Be willing to absorb as much as you can. The more info that you can absorb, the more people you can talk to, the more you get your foot in the door, foot in the water, the better off you'll be. So, and don't be afraid to ask questions. The biggest thing, don't be afraid to ask questions. A lot of people think, oh, that's a stupid question. Oh, I'm not going to ask questions. Ask as many questions as you can. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If you also have questions, you could ask me. You could always message me directly on Instagram, and I'll try to get back to you as quick as I can too, okay? So, let them send you to school. Pit Sniper says, Jeeves, this is still going? FS, go watch some explosive ride. Take these kids Take the kids, bro. LOL. Nah, I'm probably gonna go in probably like a few minutes. My kids asleep, but yeah, surprisingly I'm still on. I haven't been on a live stream this long, guys. So it feels special. I've never been on a live stream for this long, So, did you ever have a very difficult customer dealing with? Yes, I said in the beginning of this live stream, and it was so annoying. It was an absolute freaking nightmare, and they were very they were horrible. Yeah, it was just really bad. So, yeah, I had a very horrible customer. So, I mean, I'd go into it again, but the problem is it was like a long story. So you might have to just rewind after the stream ends. But it was in the beginning of the stream. How long does it take to be ASE certified? Honestly, it doesn't take that long. I'm trying to remember how long it took me. Guys, how long did it take you guys to get ASE certified? Fail quick and often to achieve success. Yeah, I agree. Fail quick and often to achieve success. My AC turns hot when I drive uphill and really slam on the gas. Or really slam. It could be low on Freon, bro. Yeah, Justin's right. ASC isn't necessary. You literally learn by doing. ASC is more for dealerships, or shops that really want you to. You can do them. They won't hurt. You'll have more info and knowledge fundamentally, but it's not necessary. Yeah, check it. Anybody using the ASC app to keep certified? I didn't even know there was an app. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. It took me a year. Took a dual credit class in high school to get certified. Nice. I think it took me less than that. It's been a minute. I've been at Honda for almost a month now, and I'm loving it as well. Great people and easy work. Nice. My friend worked at Honda too, and he loved it. And he went to Acura, and he loved it even more at Acura. I'm thinking about getting a pre-owned Kia K5. Any thoughts? I love Kia K5s. I'm not gonna lie. I was almost gonna get one of my friends was almost gonna get one. I love the K5 GTs. They're really good cars. I like them. Max Omega worked on Honda. Also, make sure that you do all your training modules and take any warranty work. You can. Oh, that's cool. I have a built flatbed truck in Legos, and he said, "Wait, what? Are you talking about Lego the game?" Took your advice on got those nano sockets from Astro. They come in handy. Yeah, they're really cool, man. And they're pretty affordable, man. They're really affordable, bro. Corn, you might have to like do a complete recharge, like maybe like drain the system completely out and then refill the system. Because it might have air in the system, might be contaminated, might be something going on. In my opinion. Oh, Lego bricks, that's crazy. Nice, that's crazy, Hoax. I did not know that. My shop doesn't require that anymore, thankfully. Hey, Brian, thanks so much for all the videos. They have helped so much in my personal mechanical work attempts. That's awesome, man. No problem, bro. For the ASC apps. Love your videos, says Zach. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. What oil to use, 5W40 or 10W44? I don't. I'd stick with the. I don't know. For the 1.9 TDI, I'm not sure. I don't know that car specifically. If you've been doing 1040, just stick with the 1040. All right, Matthew. Let's see if I can find your question, bro. You might have to re-ask it. Matthew, just re-ask the question because I don't think I can find you. Yeah, Matthew Richard, I think. Ask your questions and I'll be happy to answer it. Welcome to the live stream, Melissa. Sorry, I'm looking up at all the comments I missed. Matthew Richardson, if you are seeing this, just re-ask the question, my brother, and I'll go ahead and answer it. Any opinion on the gear end scanner? Honestly, I've never used the scanner. I didn't even know they had one, to be honest. But yeah, definitely something to think about. I have to check them out. Yeah, I did not know. I love that. Literally, we have Pitch Night said we got corn and corn farts in the chat. Y'all my people. That's funny. Matthew Richardson says 2019 Sentra with BS CVT trans with 50k miles on it. Do I change fluid or check level and top off necessary if necessary? I honestly, off the top of my head, I forgot what's the actual interval. I check the interval for changing the fluid and change it as soon as you can. You know, because that's the biggest thing with those. You want to make sure you maintain them and change them at the proper intervals, or else you're going to be in a world of hurt. So definitely check the interval for it, specifically for that car, and change it. If it says, like, let's say at 60k, then do it. You know, if it says at 80k, maybe do it a little bit earlier. Maybe do it at 70k. You know, but yeah. Ken says I just dropped in to say I love your short form info tips. Keep them coming. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Fist bump parts. My cousin says changing fluid will cause premature CVT trans failure. Really? I've always heard the opposite. Guys, in the comments below, I've never had this happen. But guys, in the comments below, what do you guys think? CVT trans, we got 50,000 miles on this guy's Nissan Sentra. If he were to change it sooner, apparently, you know, his cousin's saying that it's changing fluid would cause premature failure. But personally, it's been the opposite. If you're changing at the proper intervals, you're not going to have premature CVT trans failure. But what do you guys think? Are Mazda cars reliable? I've always stuck with Toyota. Mazdas are reliable. I love Mazdas. Mazdas are great. Oh, thanks, Tobias. I had zero clue. Gabe says go launch some fireworks. I definitely will in a couple minutes. I promise. Yeah, I agree. That's what I was thinking. Because I'm like, I never had people have issues with changing the oil earlier than the interval. You can wait, but find out what the interval is for your car. Yeah, it's true. I need help with changing rear brakes. I can't get the rotor to come off no matter what I do. Luis, I believe I made a playlist for brakes, for brake stuff. Now, if I didn't, I don't remember if I did or not. You can go on my YouTube channel, or no, I mean not YouTube channel. I mean you could go on my YouTube channel, but you can go on YouTube and search Gearhead Brian Rotor or Gearhead Brian Brakes or whatever, and it'll show all the videos I have related to brakes, rotors, or whatever. And I have so many videos on how to remove a stuck rotor. So definitely check that out. It's going to help you a lot, trust me. Sorry, I'm just going through all the stuff that I missed. All right. Robert Lopez, I'm not gonna lie, I have mixed. I have mixed viscosity. I have mixed oil brands before. Would you rather watch a tree grow or a Negro? Oh, that's messed up. That's fucked up. You're fucked up for that. Bro, do you recommend SATA tools? I've never owned SATA tools. Okay, good question. My Dodge Charger won't. When did you start wrenching? Who taught you, and advice wanting to get into this field? All right, here, 1 second. Hold on, 1 second, 1 second. All right, guys, let me answer this one more question. I gotta put my daughter back to bed. The chair, stop. Okay, so that's awesome, Ben, that you've done 4 engine swaps already. Let me answer the last question. What device do you record your videos on? It's just an iPhone 15 Pro. But okay, so the last question is from Reaper Sows. It says, when did you start wrenching? Who taught you? And advice for wanting to get into the field. I started wrenching at about 15, 16 years old. I had so many mentors. My dad taught me. His dad is a master mechanic. My uncle's a master mechanic. I've learned from him. I've learned from myself. I've learned from YouTube. I've learned from schooling. I went to school for this too. I've learned from coworkers. I've learned from experience, from my own cars, from being a mobile mechanic and working on other people's cars. I've learned in so many ways. And any advice I would give to people getting into the field is be an open, be a sponge, be willing to absorb as much new info, tips, tricks, and stuff. Don't be hard-headed on it has to be one way. Realize there's multiple ways to solve a solution, and feel free to explore different avenues to get to it. Be mindful. Be very patient. You're going to get stuck. Just because you get stuck in a job or a job gets messed up and you think you're a bad mechanic because you're getting stuck, it happens to every single mechanic. Every good master mechanic was right where you are in the beginning, messing up, making mistakes, making stupid mistakes all of the time. So don't be worried. Don't be discouraged. It happens all the time. And just be an open book. Don't be afraid to ask people questions. Ask higher up people questions. To YouTube stuff. To go ask even ChatGPT, So, yeah. But yeah. All right, guys. So, I unfortunately got to end the stream. I got to go ahead and put my daughter back to bed completely because she's waking up. But, yeah. Happy 4th of July. Thank you guys so much for joining the live stream. I love you guys all. Thanks, Blink. I really appreciate you. But yeah, I'm going to be doing this next Friday as well. I'll try to see if I could stay on the live stream for longer. But if not, yeah, thank you guys for joining the live stream. I love you guys all equally. Be sure to drop a like before you leave the live stream. But yeah, happy 4th of July. And thank you guys so much for joining the live stream. I'll definitely see you guys next Friday. And yeah, happy 4th, guys. And have a good one. Good night. Everyone, make sure you get good sleep. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Love you too, Snipe. Love you too, Yak. And yeah, see you guys in the next one, guys. All right, happy 4th, Pure Prayer as well. Happy 4th, Aiden. Happy 4th, Transit. And happy 4th, Chillwell. Love you too, Chillwell. Love you too, TD. Happy 4th. Yak Fishing. Be good, bro. 134 likes. Hell yeah, man. 137 now. Happy 4th to you too, as Joe. Happy 4th to Corn. Stay safe, Corn. Thank you, man. Love you too, TD. Thanks, Robert Lopez. Happy 4th to you as well. May the 4th be with you. I wanted to say that. Take care, man. Yeah, you too, bro. Thanks everybody thank you guys all for showing up, especially on 4th of July. Enjoy those fireworks. Drink some beer, have a cold one with the boys, and have a good night. I love you guys all equally. Thank you guys so much for supporting, and I can't wait to catch you in the next one. Thank you so much, No Name. Really nice having you for the first time on the live stream, and I can't wait to see you on the next live stream as well. Thank you again. Thank you, Miguel C. Happy 4th to you as well. And all right, guys. Peace. Hope all of this helped. Peace, guys. I will definitely keep it coming.